This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville, your home for the Blitz with Jason and Joe on YouTube and always at sasportstar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs have a chance to close things out tonight inside the Frost Bank Center. They lead the Portland Trailblazers 3-1. Tip-off for Game 5 tonight is set for 8:30. It will be televised on ESPN. Spurs, by the way, have a clean injury report going into tonight's ball game. The Boston Celtics look to close out the 76ers tonight. Tip-off set for 6. Knicks and Hawks, they're tied at 2. And, well...
Joe Reinagel.
And the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And, well, here we are. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all having a great Tuesday afternoon, whatever you're doing, however you are doing it. Thanks for making us a part of your day. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, he's feeling a little under the weather, so he took off. He was here and not feeling too good, so he decided to head to the house, actually to the doctor first, then to the house. So you're stuck with me, you lucky devils. Oh, yeah, by the way, Pledge is here as well. So Celtics and Sixers also closeout game tonight. That's what I was looking for. I think that's what I was looking for. I don't know, Pledge. Doesn't matter. We're going to have a great Tuesday afternoon here on the Blitz. And, again, happy you are here. Look, I'm really happy to be here because, we got Spurs playoff action tonight. And it is a closeout game, which I love that it is a closeout game. Spurs can take care of business. I think they're going to do that. I really do. I don't think Portland's got any heart left. But I'm obviously, I don't know. Well, I think I'm in the majority on that among Spurs fans. I found some folks that, actually think Portland have a chance. I don't know if you've been to San Antonio Sports Star Instagram or any of the socials, but I had a little chat with a friend of mine from the gym, Ray. I think you've heard me talk to Ray before. He, he likes to debate. Ray does. And so we shot a little video today, but he honestly thinks the Portland Trailblazers have a pretty good shot at winning this game simply because he thinks they will out-physical the Spurs tonight and knock them around a little bit, and we'll see. I don't know. But we had a lot of fun shooting that video. If you get an opportunity to go see that, go to sasportstar.com, our Instagram feed. You can go to mine. It's on mine as well, at Joe Reinagel 210. And check that out for us because, I like debating Ray. He always kind of gets me warmed up for the show because every time I go to the gym, we'll start debating something. And it never fails. And, that's the first thing I said to him this morning. I said, hey, Ray, I don't know how a team plays with no heart. And he said, what are you talking about? I said, Portland. The Spurs ripped their heart out. And that's when we got to talking, and he told me he felt otherwise. So we'll see what happens tonight. But I fully expect the Spurs to take care of business. And look, we're going to talk a lot of Spurs basketball, and I invite you to weigh in if you think they're going to close it out, or maybe you feel like Ray. Maybe you guys think that Portland has a real shot to send this game back the series back to Portland for a Game 6. You can certainly weigh in on that. A lot of ways to do that. If you want to go to sasportstar.com and jump on our YouTube page, you can do that there. You can comment there. Like and subscribe, though, if you would. You can also get me on Twitter at 210 or at Joe Reinagel 210. And you can call the old-fashioned way, 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. So many ways to chime in. I want to hear from you today. You can be my co-host for the day, all of you. As a collective group, can co-host this show and tell me what you think about the Spurs' chances or anything else. But I'm going to say this, and I mean this in all sincerity. All I've been hearing, and facts speak to facts, and I will say this: Spurs owned Oklahoma City in the regular season. There's no question about that. They owned Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City completed their sweep last night of the Phoenix Suns. They're just waiting on the Lakers-Rockets winners, which I think will be the Lakers just because the Rockets are down 3-1 and the Rockets are a mess. So all of that, Kevin Durant, will he play? Will he not? All of that kind of stuff. They're a mess. They're done. The Lakers are going to move on. Austin Reeves, by the way, could be back in the mix for this pivotal Game 5 that we got coming up for Houston and the Lakers. But having said all of that, I want to just make this point, and I want to know if you guys agree with me. Because, look, playoff series are playoff series. They're tough. Teams are in the playoffs for a reason. They're all pretty good no matter what seed you happen to be, whether that's 1 or whether that's 8. If you don't believe me, you can just ask the Detroit Pistons because they're about to get knocked out by an 8 seed in the Orlando Magic. Or it appears that way anyway. They're on the brink, certainly on life support. But Oklahoma City completed the sweep. And if the San Antonio Spurs want to be a championship team, first-round opponents need to be knocked out and knocked out quickly. Now, I'm not going to fault them for losing a game. That's going to happen. I have no issue with that. But this series cannot continue on any longer than tonight. It just can't. And I think if the Spurs have that championship mentality, if they have the desire to be the best in the NBA, they have got to dispatch Portland tonight. It's got to happen. You don't want to take a chance and give this team any kind of life at all. And the only concern that I have about the Spurs is what's happened over the last couple of games. Just terrible starts. They can't do that tonight. They got to come out. They got to play. They got to put their foot on Portland's neck and just stomp on them and get them the hell out of here. And while I disagree with my buddy Ray from the gym, I think that Portland, they've been scrappy. But I think the Spurs have kind of let them be scrappy because they've let them hang around. They've let them get big leads in the last 2 games, and the Spurs have had to battle their way back. And then you have the Spurs in Game 2 with the big lead that they let Portland come back in this thing. Portland is not a team that you're going to be able to just say, all right, they're done. I just don't believe that they are. I think they've got a lot to play for tonight. Number 1, it's a must-win game. Number 2, this could very well be the end of Thiago Splitter's time with the Portland Trailblazers. We've heard the fact that their owner, that cheap-ass Condon, is already looking for his replacement. And so this could be the last game for Thiago Splitter. And I think that matters simply because I think the players really like him. And I think he's done a good job. And don't ask me, just watch what's happened to this Portland Trailblazer team. I think they play really, really hard for Thiago Splitter. And I think they will play hard tonight for him. So there's a lot of things going into it that you want to take a look at and be cautious about. And while I was cocky yesterday, I'm still pretty cocky about the Spurs' chances because I don't think there's any way in hell that this team comes out lame, not motivated, and not ready to just kick Portland's ass. And I mean that in all sincerity because of what's happened the last 2 games. I fully expect the Spurs to come out quarter number 1, minute number 1, and just be playing extremely good basketball. And so I that's what I expect. Will that happen? Well, I hope so. But it hasn't happened over the last 2 games, and they've had to fight their butts off to get back into the game and actually win it. Please don't count on that tonight. The crowd should be rocking inside the Frostbank Center. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So everything lines up perfectly. And Game 5's at home, you got to take care of business. And I honestly believe if we want to be Oklahoma City, if we want to be in the best in the NBA, you got to take care of business. OKC did that in their first-round matchup against Phoenix. The Spurs have got to do that tonight against the Portland Trailblazers and get rid of these fools. Get rid of them. Get them out of here and just take care of business. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I want to know what you guys think. I'm getting some comments here on our YouTube page on sasportstar.com. Spurs in 5. Portland is going bye-bye. I love Jorge there. He agrees with me. We need to take care of business tonight, prove that we're a championship contender. We've got a comment there that says Spurs win by 20-plus tonight. Can I count on that? Because the line's 11.5. I'm just saying. I got to say this before we take a break and really get into Spurs basketball. I got to say this. I said yesterday on this show that the Denver Nuggets were going to win that game last night. Now, they won the game. And I'm not bragging about that, okay? But they go into that fourth quarter, and they had a 22-point lead. All right? The Nuggets had a 22-point lead. I went to bed. I'm thinking, all right, I got it. Money in the bank, no problem. They're not going to lose this game. They let the Timberwolves get back in that thing. They outscored them by 10, Minnesota did, and Denver ends up winning by 12. The line was 11.5. So I wake up this morning fully expecting to see that, money in my account, and I had that. But I looked at the final score, and I went, holy cow, what happened? I couldn't believe it. Unbelievable. They let them in. I think Denver just said, we got this one in the bag, and kind of let up a little bit.
You really can't complain about anything.
I'm not complaining. I won. I'm just saying I don't know why in the hell Denver decided to do that. You got to stomp on them. Now, look, Joker finally had a Joker-type night last night. But Julius Randle for Minnesota played well. And I asked that question, who the hell's going to score for Minnesota with Ant out and with DiVincenzo out, and it was Randle. Can Randle do that on a consistent basis is the key. Minnesota's got to wrap this thing up in the next game at home because they don't want to go back to Denver for a Game 7.
I think it's heading that way, though.
It could be.
I mentioned this last night in our group chat. At the early part of that game and into the early third quarter, before Denver started pulling away with it, it looked like a JV basketball game at times. It was sloppy and just ugly and turnovers and not protecting it was just, I looked at it and went, Spurs can beat either one of these teams playing like this.
Well, true, except, again, when you look at the playoffs, and this is so important, and I'm not saying the Spurs can't beat Denver, but matchups matter. And that's why Denver's having such a hard time with Minnesota, because they always do. And Minnesota's tough, especially defensively. Minnesota's got a really good defensive team. Even without their two best scorers, defense is solid. Obviously, they gave up a lot of points last night, but it's matchups. And I think Minnesota matches up really well with Denver. The concern I have about Denver is I think Denver matches up really well against the Spurs. And so that's my concern, and that's the thing in the playoffs. What you got to look at is those matchups, and I think that's going to be the interesting thing. As I sit here today, I'm going to be pulling for Minnesota in Game 6. I'd rather see them just because they're crippled, they're banged up, they're in trouble.
What happened to wanting to see the best teams?
Well, I want to see them, and I wish DiVincenzo and Ant were back. Now, Ant could be back sometime in that second-round series. It's possible, highly unlikely, but it is possible. DiVincenzo's done for a year. He snapped that Achilles. That poor kid is done for a long time, and he's got a long road back.
If I'm wearing number 0, I'm changing it immediately.
I promise you, I would never wear number 0. In fact, if I'm an NBA team, I might ban you from wearing number 0. There will be no zeros on our lineup, that's for sure. Well, we got another prediction here. Western Conference Final, OKC versus the Spurs. I would love to see that. That would be a lot of fun. And I think Spurs fans would be geeked up for that. That is for sure. Let's talk and get in depth into what the Spurs need to do to take care of business tonight against the Portland Trailblazers. Spurs basketball. And again, we invite you to chime in. A lot of folks doing that on our YouTube page, but you can certainly call and make your voice heard. I want to hear from you. Let me know. Is this the end of the Portland Trailblazers for this year, or do you think they have a chance to win this thing? Again, 210-656-3776. 656-ESPN will continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Hey everybody, Joe Reinigle here for Window Nation. You know, spring is a great time to open your windows, and wait, your windows won't open? They leak? They're cracked? They need repainting again? You know, getting top quality custom fit windows from Window Nation is easy and affordable. During the More You Buy, the More You Save sale, you could save up to 50% off. Plus, you could get them with 0% interest for 5 years. During uncertain times, one of the best investments you can make is in your home. So visit windownation.com now to book a consultation.
San Antonio has a drinking problem, and it's getting worse every day. More and more people are on the bottle. This is Rob Thompson for Connecticut Quality Water Systems of San Antonio in the Hill Country, and I want to help you get off the bottle. The plastic water bottle, that is. I don't blame you. Tap water has that off taste, but buying bottled water over and over is like losing in the first round every single week. You keep paying, you keep hauling it home, and the bottled water companies keep hauling your money to the bank. There's a better way out there. Right now, when you buy Connecticut water softener, you get a K5 reverse osmosis drinking station free. It's installed right in your kitchen sink. It's like having a bottled water machine at home without the bottles. Pure, clean, great tasting water. The K5 helps remove the contaminants and reduce the stuff that messes with taste and odor. Do what Dave Ramsey recommends. Do what I do. Make the wise investment. Call Connecticut today, 210-656-PURE. That's 210-656-PURE. Go get one today. I know you're going to be thanking me later.
ConnecticutSA.com.
License number 38961.
April is Invasive Plant Pest and Disease Awareness Month. Invasive plant pests and diseases cost the U.S. an estimated $40 billion annually in damages. More than 21 million jobs depend on the health and sustainability of U.S. agriculture and related industries. There's a lot at stake, and you can help. Agriculturist Catherine Bronsky with the USDA Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service.
Many of these pests spread through human activity on vehicles, outdoor equipment, firewood, and even through online purchases of agricultural products from overseas. Basic steps like cleaning equipment and outdoor gear between trips, as well as reporting any suspected invasive species to the local USDA office, can make a significant difference.
To learn more on how you can help stop the spread of invasive pests, visit www.hungrypests.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Coming up on the Morning Huddle, did the Spurs get the job done? We'll talk about it. Are we looking forward to the next round?
Who else might be gone fishing? Are the Celtics moving on? We'll talk about that. Is Pickens going to sign his franchise tender? Lots to get into, but you better set an alarm. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is Tuesday, man. You know, I don't even mind Monday and Tuesday this time of year because there's something going on. The Spurs are back in the playoffs. They're relevant again. And they got a huge Game 5 tonight inside the Frostbank Center, ready to put Portland to bed. Send them packing for the summer. Let them make their trip to Mexico or wherever they go, whatever they do. Let's take care of that and make sure that it happens. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. Jason Minnick's a little under the weather today, so he's headed home, try to get well, get all fixed up so he can be back sooner rather than later. Spurs and Blazers tonight, but the Basketball Executive of the Year was announced today. And Brad Stevens of the Boston Celtics is your winner there, and he's a runaway winner over Sam Presti of Oklahoma City. Stevens gets 16 first-place votes, total of 101 points to Presti's 47. Tim Connolly of Minnesota was third. Leon Rose with the Knicks fourth. Brian Wright, not a bad showing for Brian Wright. As soon as I can see him there, I know he was on this list here somewhere. But he got a couple of votes, and he's in there, but obviously he didn't win. But I think he deserves a lot of credit for this team that he has built and put together. Of course, a little lottery luck didn't hurt, but Brian Wright has done the best that I think he could do, especially with the pieces that he was given to play with. So congratulations to all of those guys. Of course, Cooper Flagg was named the Rookie of the Year last night, ending the Spurs' 2-year streak of Rookies of the Year. So congratulations to Cooper Flagg. The good news is he wins that award, but his season is over. So really doesn't matter, does it?
I'm disappointed with the voting as it comes to the Executive of the Year because, I mean, look at this roster that Brian Wright has constructed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, some of it, but you've got a 14th overall pick in Carter Bryant, who is playing substantial minutes for a team that is the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. You have the additions of Luke Cornett and the trade for De'Aaron Fox. I mean, the way he's assembled this roster, it's not just Wemby.
No, not at all. I think Steph Castle is going to be a huge star in this league, if he's not already that. He's certainly becoming that. That's for sure. And I think, look, say what you will about with the basketball in the chest of Avia the other day. I know some people will, that's not Spurs basketball. We shouldn't do it. I loved it. And I think that gets people's attention. And I guarantee you that, right or wrong, or however you want to spin it, with Castle doing that the other day, got the attention of people that might not have known who Steph Castle is. And that's weird to say that, but you know what? It's true. Because you see that little attitude and that little, stuff. I don't know. It gets in the minds of people, and they can see that, and I love that. I really do. And in fact, Draymond Green has become Steph Castle's biggest cheerleader.
Stephon Castle's been incredible. Saw someone on Threads the other day like, "Yo, hot take, man. Stephon Castle gonna be All NBA next year or something." Brother, that ain't no hot take. Stephon Castle is a winner. Stephon Castle is a special player, and to see him taking this leap in these playoffs like this, I think in these playoffs, he has been the most important player for the Spurs. He'll never get credit for being the most important player because they got Wemby. But man, you take Stephon Castle off that team, that is a completely different team. That kid there, I think, is special.
It's hard to disagree with Draymond Green. That's certainly high praise for Mr. Castle from one of the nastiest players in the NBA.
That's a bump.
In Draymond Green. But as a Spurs fan, don't you like hearing that kind of stuff? I mean, look, we hear about Wemby and people praising Wemby every day now. I mean, everybody, any talking head that you listen to, any national show that you listen to, they're all praising Wemby. But you hear that from Steph Castle and that kind of praise. I love it. And he's been fantastic. And what I love about Steph Castle is he's one of those guys, and he's just an amazing athlete. Again, Wemby's going to get all the credit. He's the alien, right? Steph Castle can do everything. He can play both sides of the floor. He's a hell of a defender. He can assist, and he can score. This guy can do it all. And I agree with Draymond Green. He is a special, special player. Carter Bryant, I think, is another one. And I was a little meh on Carter Bryant when they drafted him, and I've been proven wrong. I mean, this guy has come in, and he's going to get better. He's still not there yet. He's shown flashes. He's still not there yet, but I think he will be. And I think that was a great pick by the Spurs, as it turns out. And so props to Brian Wright and everybody else over there that actually that made that pick. And then you bring in De'Aaron Fox into this team. The Spurs knew they needed a quarterback, if you will, and they went out and they found De'Aaron Fox, who wanted to come to San Antonio. I mean, the history of it is out there, but he is key to this team too. And I think it goes with him. And I will say that, and I know he hasn't had the best of playoff series thus far, but in that game 4, it was De'Aaron Fox who sparked this team. It wasn't Wemby. It wasn't Castle. It wasn't anybody else but De'Aaron Fox. He sparked the comeback. He did it, and that's what you need from De'Aaron Fox. You need that consistently, and you need that from the get-go tonight. And that's what's going to be important. And I think De'Aaron Fox has got to be that player night in and night out. If the Spurs have any chance of winning an NBA championship this year, De'Aaron Fox has got to be the guy. He's got to lead the way. All the other guys are going to show up, and they're going to do what they do. Wemby obviously is the main attraction, but De'Aaron Fox starts things going. He lights the fuse. And if he's not lighting the fuse, then the Spurs could be certainly in trouble. And he certainly did that in Game 4 the other night, and I loved it. Yeah, C-Note in there says, I remember you weren't high on Harper in the draft. And you're right, I wasn't. I wasn't thrilled with that pick at all. But I'll tell you, C-Note, I can admit when I'm wrong. And obviously, Carter Bryant has proved me wrong for sure. And I know a lot of Spurs fans were high on that pick. And props to you. I wasn't. I am now. You see what the kid can do. You see how he plays. He's professional. And so, yeah, hey, I was wrong on Carter Bryant, and I'm here to admit it. So I'm very happy that he has become the player that a lot of folks thought he would become. And again, what is great about that, and a pledge in there raising his hand, what I love about Carter Bryant is he's still so young that he's going to get better. And the more he plays, the better he's going to get. And the more valuable to this team he's going to get as well. Look, this San Antonio squad, whether they win a championship this year or not, this team's future is just extremely bright with the young youth, the talent that they have on this squad that's going to get better year after year after year. Man, the future is bright. You can see championships. Let's hang 5 more inside the Frostbank Center. I think the biggest challenge, and I mean this sincerely, and it's not anytime soon, but is keeping all these guys. I mean, seriously, when you talk about all of the talent that they've assembled, and if these guys continue to get better and better, keeping them all once it comes to contract time is going to be the biggest challenge for Brian Wright and the San Antonio Spurs. And so that's going to be interesting to watch, but that's for another day. Today is a closeout day, and Portland is going to go bye-bye. I just have that feeling, and I think it might not even be close. I heard the fellas this morning talking that they thought Portland might hang around, and that's certainly possible, and they may be right, but I just don't think so tonight. And again, I want to see what kind of mettle this San Antonio Spurs team has. I want to see what kind of stones they have, what kind of killer instinct they have, because you need that tonight. Closeout games are tough. Portland's going to play hard, but I think the Spurs have got to show not only Portland but the rest of the NBA that they are championship material. And the best way to do that tonight is to make sure that there is absolutely no doubt about who the best team in the series is, and you take them behind the barn, you spank their little heinies. Completely spank their heinies and get it done and get them out of here, and then wait on what's going to happen between Minnesota and Denver. I think the Spurs are going to have a lot of time off because I really think this Denver-Minnesota series is going to go 7 games, and I think the Nuggets are going to come out of this thing victorious. I just don't see how Minnesota plays and hangs with Denver without their 2 best scorers, without DiVincenzo and without Anthony Edwards. It's going to be a difficult challenge for those guys to get that done. So we'll see what happens. And I don't really care who it is at this point in time. It can be anybody. I think the Spurs, though, I mean, obviously without their 2 best scorers, they got the best chance of beating Minnesota.
The best news, though, is you've got that series likely either going 7 or you're facing an injury-riddled team in the next round, and you're going to have plenty of time for a team that has nobody on its injury report right now to rest up and be fresh when that next series starts too. So it definitely favors, no matter who you're going to end up facing in the next round, it gives a slight advantage to the Spurs in that second round series.
Without a doubt. And that is a great point, Pledge. It really is. Now, Blazer Man has come back into the chat on our YouTube page, and he's not ready to give up. He says he's getting drunk, ready to honk down the Riverwalk. I'm assuming that's the real Blazer, man. I don't know these days, but I understand. I mean, hey, if you're a Blazer fan, you got to have hope, don't you? I mean, you got to have hope that they can extend this series. And who knows? Blazers win tonight. You take it back to Portland. You get a Game 6, and then anything can happen in a Game 7.
I mean, you got to have hope. I mean, the Cowboys have had it for 30-plus years.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. So we'll see what happens tonight. I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen, and I'm looking forward to a great effort for 2 halves from the Spurs. Not one, but both halves from the Spurs. Put it together from the get-go, and just taking this Blazers team and squashing them and getting them out of here and showing everybody that you are championship caliber. And I'm talking, obviously, about the San Antonio Spurs. Let's talk about the rest of the NBA, because I want to talk about some of these games. Oklahoma City knocks out Phoenix. Denver stays alive. Detroit! Oh, my goodness. You talk about frauds. They got one player, and that one player is really good, but he ain't enough. Let's talk about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, I want to talk to you about my good friends at Stevens Roofing and Solar. All that rain that we had, man, I really hope nothing happened to your roof. But if you notice something, maybe you see a leak, maybe you walk outside and you see that something's just not right or doesn't look like it should be, you don't want to take a chance, not with your biggest investment. And, of course, that's your house. You want to get Stevens Roofing and Solar out there. 210-785-0994. When you call them, they'll send a crew out to your house. They'll do it for free. They'll inspect your roof. They'll make sure that everything is okay. And if there's something wrong, they'll let you know, and they'll let you know how they can get it taken care of. And you know you've got the best in the business out there already. Look, Stevens Roofing and Solar has been in business since 1983. Just think about that for a minute. 1983. You don't stay in business if you're not doing it right. Stevens Roofing and Solar is the absolute best in the business. If you think you got a problem, or maybe it's time for a new roof, whatever the case may be, Stevens Roofing and Solar is the company to remember. The number you remember is 210-785-0994, or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net.
Attention coaches, educators, and booster clubs. Need a fundraiser that's different from the rest? With Gardenville, supporters purchase something they already need. High quality, locally sourced mulch and compost. Your organization earns money on every sale. Real products, real value, with support from Gardenville to keep it simple. Ready to grow your fundraiser? Visit garden-ville.com/fundraising. That's garden-ville.com/fundraising.
When the dollar's convertibility into gold ended in 1971, gold was fixed at $35 an ounce. Fast forward to today, and the U.S. dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold has increased in value by over 12,000%. Central banks are buying gold at record levels. Major firms are holding significant positions in gold. And I choose to buy gold from Birch Gold Group. Stan Bongino, and it all starts with education. Birch Gold just announced their Learn and Earn Precious Metals event. This free online event rewards you for learning the basics of investing in precious metals. Sign up to get free silver on your next purchase if you qualify. And you can get even larger incentives as you go. The more you learn, the more you can earn. But act now. This special event only runs through April 30th. So text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 to join Birch Gold's Learn and Earn Precious Metals event by April 30th. Text Dan to 989898 today. Message and data rates may apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Fiesta with NAW, Northwest Automotive Warehouse with party-worthy promos. Through the end of April, take $150 off the American-made Real Truck Undercover Ultraflex truck bed cover. Call or visit with promo code BLITZ to save $100 with free install. That's $999 installed on most Silverado, Ram, or F-150 5.5-foot bed Ultraflex covers. 200 in stock. No wait. Shop local with NAW. Family operated since 1978 on Culebra or online at nawtruck.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text SPARK to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text SPARK to 215-215. That's SPARK to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Got a buddy who thinks he knows baseball? Perfect. On Rangers game days, prove it with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger you think will launch it out of here. He hits one, you and a friend are headed to a Rangers game. He hits two. Now, you've got tickets and hotel. Yeah, you're making a night of it, and your buddy's buying the first round. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Call your shot and win the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
Man, I got to tell you, though, I saw something today. Woke up, I'm kind of scrolling around like I always do. You reading stuff and looking around. And I saw a story on My SA. The barn door is closing. The barn door. I didn't think that place would ever close. It's been in business since 1953. Now, granted, I haven't been to the barn door in a long time. My grandmother used to love that place.
I mean, I was always told, are you raised in a barn? Close the door.
The barn door. Now, I've been there for a bunch of the quarterback club has been held there for a little while. So you go in, but I mean, I remember the steaks being pretty good. It's just one of those iconic locations in San Antonio. This kind of a staple of this city for a long, long time. I mean, 1953 is when they started searing steaks. But yeah, My SA is reporting that they are going to shutter after 73 years. Now, I'm not sure exactly when that's going to happen, but I would imagine, and I would think so, because the first thing I thought of, I got to get in there before they close. I got to get back in there at least one more time before they close. And I don't know, there may be a lot of you new to town that don't know where the barn door is or what I'm talking about, but it's just one of those iconic places. Now, it says that they're going to continue through Mother's Day, May 10th. It says the steakhouse will host its final service from 11:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 10th. Wow, so that's not a lot of time. So if you want to head back over there for one last meal, one last steak from the barn door, you better get in there. That's not very long. A couple of weeks. Not very long at all. So, and it's less than a couple of weeks. I was very sad to hear that. But again, I haven't been there in a while, and I guess a lot of people haven't, or maybe they just decided it was time to close up shop and go on. I mean, 73 years is a pretty long time. So, well, there you go. So if you want to go get a good steak and help out the barn door or go see that place one last time, there's your opportunity to do so. A lot of basketball coming up tonight. There was some good basketball last night. We've talked about Oklahoma City closing out Phoenix, and to me what that means, Oklahoma City doesn't want to mess around with those guys, and they got rid of them. And so, to me, that just shows a good championship squad. Although, look, Phoenix had no answer for anybody. But I keep hearing, and I'm really curious what you guys think, because I keep hearing, and people really getting, it seems like, extremely frustrated with SGA, with his flopping, with his fouls, with all of that stuff. I hear it again today, and there's you look on Twitter, there's video all over the place of SGA looking like James Harden or maybe LeBron James. Somebody breathes on him, he falls down and flops, but he gets the foul call. It's hard to fault the guy if the officials are going to reward you for that kind of behavior. I mean, what is he going to do? Stop? I mean, yeah, you know what? It's not right. You guys are all right. It's not right. I'll just stop flopping around. I'll stop getting to the free throw line.
The only way to do it is to get the refs to stop being so lenient with their whistles against him.
You're exactly right. And that's it. And so until they do, again, SGA is not going to stop doing what he's doing. I mean, if you get to the free throw line 15, 20 times a game, think about it. Those are some easy points, easy buckets. And so I have no problem with it. I wish it wasn't that way. But James Harden made a hell of a career out of doing that. LeBron James has made a hell of a career out of doing that. And there have been others that have made a hell of a career. And it's interesting to me, although I complain about a lot of things, as some of you may know, believe it or not. I know that might be hard to believe. But with James Harden, I hated it. I hated watching James Harden. For some reason, I don't get the same disdain watching SGA do it. I don't know why. I don't know. I just don't know why. I think the guy is a special player. And if there is a knock on him, it is that. But LeBron James, I think, has started doing it more now than he's ever done it before. Because that dude, he flops when there's nobody around. And he gets the call. So, I mean, it's hard to be mad at those guys for that.
Whether it's LeBron or Harden or SGA, this falls on Adam Silver to be able to get with the refs to try and get this out of the game, because that's the only way you can get this out of the game, unless you make these foul calls reviewable in a sense.
Well, but see, I don't want to do that, because if you do that, you're going to slow the game way down. I don't want to see a review after every foul call and challenges for fouls like that. Look, the NBA's been this way forever. I mean, it has. Stars get preferential treatment from the officials. They always have. I mean, that hasn't changed in the last 20, 30 years. That's always been the case. And so SGA now is just the next star who is getting that. It'll be interesting to see, and not to say that Wemby will flop, but it will be interesting to see as he progresses through his career, as he racks up a couple of more Defensive Player of the Year awards and maybe some MVP awards, will Wemby start to get that preferential treatment from the officials? Because typically the stars do, and right now SGA, he's the biggest star in the NBA. Whether we like it or not, he is that. Joker, he gets calls. It's just the way that it is. It's the way it's always been.
Getting calls is one thing, but some of them are absolutely egregious.
Well, they are. But again, you can't blame the player for that.
No.
I think
but that's on the officials.
Sure.
Because, yeah, some of them, the contact's created and it makes it look incredibly difficult to call. Some of them are him landing, nobody in his landing zone, and him just falling down. And those kind of calls have to get officiated out.
I'm really surprised that that some of that stuff is being called, because a lot of times this time of year, and maybe that will change as the Oklahoma City Thunder move on in the playoffs. Maybe it will change. A lot of times the officials this time of year swallow their whistles to some extent. I think we've seen that in the Spurs series with Portland. It's been physical, and they've allowed Portland to be physical with the Spurs.
Unless your acronym's SGA.
Well, exactly. And that could very well be. What could Victor Wembanyama, I wonder what his middle name is. If he's got a middle name, we need to give him initials like V-A-M, VAM, or Z.
But his last name's
Wembanyama, W. Where'd I come up with M? V-A-W. Vol. Yeah, something, right? I don't know.
What if it's Edgar?
V-E-W. I don't know. We'll have to get somebody to ask Wemby what his middle name is, or if he's got a middle name. Not sure. But Oklahoma City's done with Phoenix. They're waiting now the winner of the Lakers-Rockets series. And that series could be over tomorrow night. The Rockets, meanwhile, the Lakers, meanwhile, could be getting some help. Austin Reeves is a game-time decision, and he could very well be back for Game 5. And again, It's hard to say what I expect in that thing, because I expected so much more from Houston. By the way, Kevin Durant is the same thing. Kind of, they just don't know. Ime Udoka was asked about that today, and he said, "We'll see." So I don't know what's going on with Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets, but we'll see what happens. But if they get Austin Reeves back, and they even have some time between now and the next series, I'm not sure when that probably wouldn't start until the weekend, I wouldn't think. Game 1 between Oklahoma City and the Lakers. Luka has got to be getting close to being back. I don't know when did that injury happen, Pledge? You remember? It's been 3-4 weeks ago.
It was early April. I'm looking it up now.
All right, so I'm not sure. It was a pretty bad hamstring pull. And typically those are a 4 to 6 week proposition. So we'll see. But if they get Austin Reeves and Luka back, they're going to be
April 2nd.
They're going to be tough. So what is today? The 28th?
About 4 weeks.
So about 4 weeks. Yeah. So he's got to be getting close. And I think they pretty much ruled him out for this series. So he's done. But the next series, they'll certainly need him against Oklahoma City if they hope to have any chance of winning that series and moving on. So going to be interesting to see, but it looks like Austin Reeves is pretty much back. The Detroit Pistons, I don't know what to think about this team. Yeah, Orlando's a good team.
Frauds.
Well, I think they are frauds. Look, they've got one player, Cade Cunningham, and that's pretty much it. And they were able to scoot through the East and beat teams there because, well, let's face it, the East sucks for the most part. So they were able to go through the East and not have a problem with that. And Cade Cunningham's that good. But they've run into a team that is pretty good and on the up and up. They're ascending, I would say, the Orlando Magic. And I think they're going to be a better team as we get into the future. The problem for them now, they lost one of their best players for a little while. I don't think for a long time, but Franz Wagner has a strained calf he suffered last night and may not be available for tomorrow night's Game 5. That's going to be tough for the Orlando Magic because it is going back to Detroit. And this is a series I think is, obviously going 6. I think Detroit wins that game tomorrow. They extend it. They go back to Orlando for a Game 6, and we'll see what happens from there. And would it really surprise you if the Pistons come all the way back and get it done? Cunningham's that good. He just needs a little bit more help from whomever on that team that can give him some help. So we'll see what happens in that. But that's been a surprise. And to me, the biggest surprise or certainly one of them. I think the Lakers-Rockets series has surprised me more than anything. I didn't think LeBron James was able to do what he does. And look, I'm not a huge fan of LeBron James, but I'm going to give that man a lot of credit because he has put this team on his back with the injuries to Reeves and Doncic, and he's put the team on the back. And he has found a fountain of youth, that's for sure, and he's led this team. I just think he's a little bit tired, and I'm not sure if they need some help, and if Reeves can come back, that's certainly going to help them, and maybe they can get that done. Obviously, the other one that Spurs fans we're all looking at and want to make sure that, see who we're going to play, who the Spurs are going to play in the second round of the playoffs. Either going to be Denver or Minnesota. Minnesota extremely banged up, and I'll say it again, I hate it. I really hate it because I don't want to see stars go down in the playoffs. It robs us. It robs the fans of great playoff basketball. And I love NBA playoff basketball, but it robs the fans. And obviously with Ant out and DiVincenzo out, Minnesota is, they're handicapped. I mean, let's face it, they are. I don't think Denver is playing the best basketball that they've played all year. And I don't know if you saw their coach last night. Even though they won the game, he was up on that podium pissed off. I mean, he was not a happy guy. And I wouldn't be too happy either. You've got a team in Minnesota that scored 113 points on you last night without two of their best scorers. You've got to play better defense than that against a team that is banged up. And again, Julius Randle played a pretty good ball game last night, but my goodness, I don't think he can do that consistently, and I don't think he's going to be enough to get it done. I'm telling you, I fully expect this series to go 7, and I fully expect the Denver Nuggets to win it. So that could change, obviously, and things can happen. But I think Denver wins that thing, and I think that's our second-round matchup will be against the Denver Nuggets. The good news there, if it does go 7, Denver's not going to get a lot of rest between the first-round series and the second-round series. Because I have to believe, I don't think their next game is until Thursday. So if it goes, to 7 games, that's going to mean the weekend. The Spurs series wouldn't start until next week, early next week. But so we'll see. The Spurs will have an opportunity to rest a little bit. How much rest they get remains to be seen. Or it could start this weekend if Minnesota can find a way to get it done. I just don't know about – I love this time of year. I absolutely love this time of year. It is fantastic. Something that I found that I find interesting, and I don't know how people do it. I really don't. I know there's a lot of rich folks out there. The Knicks play tonight at the Garden, and that series is tied 2-2 with the Atlanta Hawks. NBA Central is reporting right now on Twitter that the cheapest ticket to stand and watch the Knicks play tonight at the Garden is $376. Now, that's standing room only. That's not a seat. That's standing room only inside the Garden. Courtside seats, according to this, are $46,555. 46 grand.
It just shocks me the amount of people that have that kind of disposable income.
Well, what's the dude that's a big Knicks fan and he's always
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee, yeah, he was always messing with Reggie Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of those seats is his.
Well, 46 grand to Spike Lee is nothing, right? That's like you pulling out a 20 pledge. Yeah, and that's
hard.
That's nothing. This is incredible though, and that place will be packed. And it will be loud and it will be raucous, but $46.5 grand. That is unbelievable to me. But again, there'll be nothing but celebrities there.
You overestimate my net worth.
Yeah, well, you look like a rich guy, Pledge. You know what I mean? Not really, but Jay, you could pass for a rich dude. That's incredible to me. I can't wait to watch that game. I want to see who those people are. That are playing, that are sitting there courtside, because I know exactly what they paid to be there. Going to be fascinating. Playoff basketball, I love it. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot more Spurs basketball. We'll hear from some of the players, Devin Vassell, Carter Bryant, coming up a little bit later in the show. But in the meantime, if you've listened to the show at any point in time, I have thought about, talked about, maybe not thought about, but I got pretty good looking feet. OnlyFans. I could probably make some money. I'm just saying. And
Joe's toes.
And I just, there's another example of, a shiny female who has made a lot of money in a very short amount of time on OnlyFans. We'll tell
Joe's toes.
all about
Put them in my mouth.
Ooh, yummy. I'll tell you all about it when we return here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
All right, our Sports Star crew, listen up. If you want to keep winning in life like our San Antonio Spurs do on the court, head over to Game Day Men's Health. Cibolo Shirts or Alamo Ranch, the roster stacked with all-stars just like our Spurs. Experts trained in hormonal health, erectile dysfunction, weight loss, advanced peptide therapies. Why go to the G League when you can take your talents straight to the top, baby? Whether you're tired all the time, you've got low energy, maybe you've got some weight gain or the brain fog, maybe you need a little help in the bedroom. I'm not here to judge. They've got you covered. Their Hall of Fame team and services like testosterone replacement and peptide therapies will get you back in the game. Located in Alamo Ranch or choose the Cibolo Shirts location on I-35 and 3009 across the highway from HEB. Call 830-376-9100 or visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com and book your appointment today. Win back your health, win back your life. It's game day. Let's go. That's 830-376-9100.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Spring is here, and in South Texas, that means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you've been hit by a storm or think you have damage, now is the time to contact Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Don't put your trust in an out-of-town storm chaser. Stevens Roofing is a family-owned, locally based company who will be here for years to come. The team at Stevens Roofing and Solar will give you peace of mind when the storms come rolling in. Call 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
Attention coaches, educators, and booster clubs. Need a fundraiser that's different from the rest? With Gardenville, supporters purchase something they already need. High quality, locally sourced mulch and compost. Your organization earns money on every sale. Real products, real value, with support from Gardenville to keep it simple. Ready to grow your fundraiser? Visit garden-ville.com/fundraising. That's garden-ville.com/fundraising.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers have placed the rare first right of refusal tender on quarterback Aaron Rodgers, meaning he can accept a 10% raise off last year's salary. It'd pay him about $15 million this year. Now, Rodgers would only be able to sign with the Steelers once training camp begins. Until then, they have the right to match any offer that Rodgers receives. And Emmitt Smith's son, well, he's headed to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a Tuesday. Hope you're having a great Tuesday, everybody. No matter what you're doing, however you're doing it. Thanks for spending a little time here with us. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, a little bit under the weather today, so he has gone home, went to the doctor, and hopefully got some drugs, and we'll get better sooner rather than later. But, hey, Pledge and I are here, so we're going to take you home on this Tuesday afternoon, get you ready for the Spurs game tonight as they try to knock out the Portland Trailblazers and get it done. I'm going to talk a little NFL football coming up, too, because this Aaron Rodgers thing is just you want to hear just go away. Can you just go away, please? We'll talk more about that in a minute, and I'll get fired up about it because, well, that's what I do around here. Yeah, absolutely. And some criticism about Adam Schefter. We'll talk about that coming up here in just a minute as well. Pledge, I don't know if you saw, but I was in your glass box of fun a few minutes ago, and NBA, I don't know what they call that show, NBA Today or whatever the hell.
Yeah, NBA Today.
Malika Andrews obviously hosts that show, and obviously she's very easy to look at. But she was interviewing. I don't know if you saw a picture of that. I saw a picture of this this morning. In fact, she was interviewing Wemby after the game 4 win. Mm-hmm. I don't know how tall Malika Andrews is, but her neck has to be killing her. As she's looking straight up at Victor Wembanyama. And it was the funny – go find that picture if you can because it was the funniest picture of her. I mean, the mic is way up as long as she could stretch her arm to get that microphone up there to Victor Wembanyama so you'd be able to hear him. But it's just – I mean, I can only imagine because, I mean, let's face it. If I interviewed Wemby, I'd be doing the same thing. I mean, it's just the guy is just incredibly tall, but that was just kind of a funny picture. So
I kind of want to see it.
Yeah,
I want to see you on your tippy toes with the mic straight up.
Well, I've been
barely
there.
Reaching his chest.
I'm trying to think of the tallest guy I ever interviewed.
Manute Bol?
No,
Sean Bradley.
I never did Manute Bol, and Sean Bradley maybe a little before. It's hard to say, and I can't remember. Besides Tim Duncan and David Robinson, obviously, those guys were pretty tall. I don't.
Sean Bradley would have played for the Mavs during those years.
Maybe. Didn't he play for the Utah Jazz, too, at one point in time? I'm not sure if he did or not.
Not Utah, but he was traveled.
He was traveled. He certainly was traveled. But, boy, it was just a funny picture. We'll find it and maybe
Boban?
We'll post that. Perhaps Boban. The only thing I remember about Boban, though, is just when you shake the guy's hand. Your hand disappears.
Tickles your armpit?
I mean, your hand disappears because his hands were enormous. Loved that guy, though.
You know what they say about guys with big hands.
Well, I don't know if that's true or not in Boban's case.
They wear big gloves.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that's true. But the other thing they say about guys with big hands, I don't know the answer to that factually. But although I do know about Tyrone Corbin.
I was going to say, who was the Utah Jazz guy?
Oh, my gosh. If y'all haven't heard that story,
How big were his hands?
I know. Well, I don't know how big his hands were. They must have been pretty damn big because there were other things on that man's body that were huge. And I wasn't looking for that. So if you're thinking I'm a weirdo,
Song you dong.
This was way back. I mean, when I first started in TV and back in the early days of the Tim Duncan era and David Robinson, the start of the dynasty. And Utah was good back then. I mean, they were good. Karl Malone, John Stockton, and those guys. But it was so they're playing Utah, and I was in the Utah locker room for whatever reason. Maybe we had two crews. I'm not sure what it was. This was a long time ago.
Did it scare you?
Dude, it scared the hell out of me. Tyrone Corbin walks by, and I'm waiting on an interview with someone, and he's naked. I mean, this dude is bare naked. And I'm just like, I mean, it was like, I'm like, I'd never seen anything like that. And it scared the hell out of me. I was like, holy cow.
Luckily, it didn't come up to say hello.
Well, I'm pretty happy about that, and I certainly wasn't bending over. That's for sure. But I tell you, it was just incredible. So, hey, props. All you can do is say, hey, Tyrone, woo, you're the man, buddy. So
maybe he should start an OnlyFans.
Yeah, he probably should. I'm sure there's people that would like to see that. I don't know. Maybe. Perhaps. Hey, let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Brought to you by Novu Brazil Brewery in North Star Mall. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Dude, I have flashbacks from my Tyrone Corbin days. Unbelievable.
Apparently, I almost caused a wreck.
Angel Stadium, where the Angels play, they've had to shut down a section of their concession stands. And it's just one section because of a rodent infestation. Now, when I'm reading the story earlier today, as they go in, and it's health inspectors, right? I mean, they do it everywhere. They go in and they look, and apparently this particular section, it's section 432, is completely shut down right now. Turns out some uninvited four-legged guests were making themselves at home, and and the stench was just unbelievable. And they said that there was a massive amount of rats in this thing. And they said the tunnels where they found them, they'd go from, I don't know where the seats are, to the food storage areas. So, and look, I'm a guy, and I've said this before on the show, I never gave a damn about those, behind the kitchen door things. Look, if the food's good, I don't give a damn what's going on behind the kitchen door. I really don't.
There you go. Stop worrying about what's happening. Go eat a hot dog.
I don't care. But now I would, and damn sure if my ticket said, where are we sitting, honey? Oh, section 432. No, I don't think so.
Go grab you a hot dog and some nachos, Joe.
Yeah, go down to section 200 and grab some food and come back. That's just unbelievable. And I don't know how in the world you let it get that bad. That's the problem. I don't know. Maybe they weren't aware of it. I'm not sure, but it's just I don't like rats, okay? I just don't like rats. And that particular story just kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies this morning when I first read it.
Heebie-jeebies?
The heebie-jeebies, man. You know where you just get, the hair stands up on the back of your head, neck, and you're just like, whoa.
The 1930s call. They want their words back.
Hey, we can bring them back. Everything comes back in style, Pledge. Come on.
Yeah, see?
Now, there is another, and I love the way this starts out. This particular article starts out. It says, another horny couple on vacation couldn't wait until their flight landed to fool around. They insisted on doing it in the plane's cabin. Well, it earned them a lifetime ban. So, but here's the story. Well, look, couples try to join the Mile High Club all the time. But this particular couple, when they got caught, and they weren't hiding this apparently because the other passengers around, some even, I'm told by this article, were filming this. They claimed they were just praying. They were just praying.
You got to get on your knees to pray.
Well, somebody apparently was on their knees. I don't know, but they've tried, but it has earned them a ban from this particular airline, and it's I've never seen this airline. It's called Jet2. I've never heard of it, but
oh yeah, you know Jet2.
I don't know Jet2.
They went super viral on both TikTok and Instagram of on a Jet2 getaway. Like, you've heard it before.
Well, it's funny because on their planes, it's got the big jet, and then it's written friendly low fares.
Very friendly.
I don't know, and apparently some very friendly passengers as well. So they can no longer fly jet2.com apparently, or that's how you get to them. Apparently, this was a couple, I guess, from England or somewhere. They weren't from the United States, but they were trying to join the Mile High Club, and well, it didn't go too well. Can I just say this? I don't know how many times that you see this, and you just think, you D-bag, big time. When some grown man is at a ballpark and he rushes over to get a home run ball or a foul ball or whatever and ends up stealing it from a kid, it just drives me insane. Because first and foremost, what the hell are you going to do with that baseball as a grown man? I mean, it's not worth anything.
Well, some of them were.
Well, it depends. This one was not. Not at all. But he runs over, and it drives me insane. The good news is this happened in Tampa. Tampa Bay Rays game. But obviously everybody sees this thing because they saw the donkey running over there and stealing the ball from this girl. And so a reporter, but a guy by the name of Ryan Bass, obviously takes a baseball, gets it from the Rays, who saw this happening too, and, well, gives it to the girl. And that usually is the way that it works out. But, dude, I'm going to tell you something. How do you look yourself in the mirror when you go and take a baseball from a child? That just drives me insane. Yeah, I mean, it really does drive me insane. Okay, I got that off my chest.
It's like people that don't use their blinker to merge onto the highway.
No, those people are fine, especially when the people behind them should know they're merging onto the highway. There is a huge event taking place in San Francisco. Did you hear about this, Pledge?
No.
The Sperm Racing World Cup. And listen to the promotion.
The Sperm Racing World Cup. 128 countries. $100,000 grand prize. The highest stakes competition ever conceived. We are searching for the healthiest man alive. This race will immortalize a nation. Your country is watching. The world is ready.
Okay, the sound effects that you hear right there are the little sperm guys swimming. They're racing.
Are you gonna enter in this?
No.
Is that why we pulled this?
No, I would come in dead last, I'm sure. But I'm just
You're saying your swimmers aren't very strong?
Who the hell? I mean, this thing was like a WWE promotion for this thing. That's nuts. so to speak. I mean, that's like a WWE promotion. It's unbelievable. But get this, the winner of this thing, $100,000.
Yeah, they just said that. 128 countries fighting for $100,000 for the world's best swimmer.
So now in this promotion, and picture it, and you could probably find it if you want to go find it on the internets wherever. But they get two guys standing in a tube-like things, like phone booths almost, but clear. So I don't know. Do they attach something to their manhood that makes that happen, and then they swim down there? I don't know how this works.
You're way too into this.
I don't know.
Are you going to buy the pay-per-view?
No, but I'm wondering. I'm going to look on my app. Can I bet on this thing? I'm not sure. Yes, I'll take Hans. I hear his swimmers are strong.
Joe's going Germany.
Hans. He's the man. Crazy stuff. What we'll do. That is for sure. I don't know. You got to be of an age, and I know a lot of you are going to know what I'm talking about. The movie I'm talking about, American Pie. Now, when American Pie came out, it was a little controversial, I guess. But there were a couple.
It was racy.
Racy. It was funny as hell.
Yeah, it was.
It was a funny movie, but there was a very attractive young lady in that movie by the name of Shannon Elizabeth.
Oh yeah.
She was
Nadia.
Was that her name? I couldn't remember her name, but a very attractive young lady back in the day, and I guess she had to be probably in her late teens, early 20s in that movie.
Yeah, maybe early 20s,
something like that. Well, she's 52 years old now, and she still looks good. I mean, she does. She still looks good. Apparently, good enough to earn her $1 million in a week on OnlyFans. Is that incredible? She's gone to OnlyFans and has earned $1 million in her first week. First week.
Joe really started contemplating OnlyFans after I showed him this.
Dude, are you kidding me? I mean, $1 million in a week. So I'd like to know what she does after 4 weeks. Is it going to be $4 million, $5 million? Who knows?
Could go up.
It could. And I don't know what she's showing. I have no clue what she's showing. Joe's toes, yummy. Dude, $1 million? Now I don't know if my toes would get $1 million pledge, but I mean, yeah, it'd be worth a try. Joe's toes, put them in my mouth.
You could start pointing with them.
I could be anonymous.
You could flip people off with your toes
That's
on
exactly
OnlyFans.
Right. And you know that, yeah, I would. Yes, $1 million in a week. Now, look, I've got 5 daughters. This is commonly known, and I would not want any of my daughters to do this unless they're going to make $1 million in a week. But
then you contemplate it,
dude. Think about that. If you are any kind of an attractive person and you are in need of money, that might be the way to get it done.
Well, I remember I read a story the other day that Sophie Rain, we've talked about her on the Headline Blitz before.
Yes.
Makes a whole bunch of money on OnlyFans doing stuff.
Dude.
She started investing in land and cattle because the government was taking over half of what she was earning.
Here's what's going to be funny, Pledge. When the first OnlyFans person buys an NFL football team, think about that. That's going to be funny. Or an NBA franchise, or pick a franchise. Who knows? But $1 million in 1 week. Now, I'm getting some suggestions here on our YouTube page, Pledge, saying I should have an endorsement for hair products.
You should.
You know, I wonder, instead of the toes,
you could do the hair.
Do people have hair fetishes?
I'm sure they do.
I don't know. So we'll maybe start with the toes. If that doesn't go anywhere, we'll go with the hair. I got to remain anonymous, though. I mean, I can't. Although, you know, these people that watch us every day would probably know, yeah, that's Ryan Eagle.
I will say there are hair fetishes because it was the first time I've ever seen you have hair envy last week at Taste of the North Side.
Dude, yes. Yeah, with the news director for Channel 4. That dude's got some hair, man. I'm telling you. There's no doubt about it. He's got some hair. Oh, my goodness. This thing with this Brendan Sorsby is really getting out of hand. And I think he could be in trouble. Does he have any options? That's the thing. I think he may have an option if he gets suspended by the NCAA. Look, Texas Tech is screwed. I hope they're out looking for another quarterback because I don't think this kid's going to play this year. They're going to pay him $5 million to play quarterback at Texas Tech, and now he's entered a rehab for gambling. We'll talk about it when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
All right, step up. If you really know the Rangers, this is your game on Rangers Game Day. Make your call in the morning huddles, Ranger Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger who takes one deep. He hits one, you're in. Ranger tickets. It's 2. And then we're talking tickets and a hotel stay. Big swings, big rewards. Wake up with the Morning Huddle and cash in with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but there's proof that it happens every day. All kinds of people for all kinds of reasons. If you get yourself arrested, what you want to do to get out of jail fast is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. They have offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online, mybestbailbonds.com.
Hey everybody, Joe Reinigle here for Window Nation. You know, spring is a great time to open your windows and wait, your windows won't open? They leak? They're cracked? They need repainting again? You know, getting top quality custom fit windows from Window Nation is easy and affordable. During the More You Buy, the More You Save sale, you could save up to 50% off. Plus, you could get them with 0% interest for 5 years. During uncertain times, one of the best investments you can make is in your home. So visit windownation.com now to book a consultation.
Spring into savings this truck month at North Park Chevrolet in Castroville, your 6-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year. Lease a 2026 Silverado 1500 Crew LT for $589 a month, 0 down. Or drive a 2026 Silverado 1500 Crew Custom for $36,999. New heavy duties have 3.9% financing, no payments for 90 days. Together, let's drive North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes by Loop 410 in Castroville. Must qualify. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Evan Cohen here. PayPal is now the official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, are covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to your friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Just download the PayPal app, share all the moments that matter. Account with PayPal is required, not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
Here it comes. Surprise! There's an avocado shortage! Now half your food truck menu is costing more than it's making you! Also, you're out of napkins!
Those aren't cheap! Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise, saving 13% on commercial auto insurance when you pay in full.
Also, an ice cream truck stole your parking spot! Looks like you're in a turf war!
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic, the delicious daily detox that will keep you feeling your best. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon or pick up some at your local CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We have meaningful basketball being played in San Antonio for the first time in years, and you know the Roof Hub has proven to be the best place to go watch the games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roof Hub, show up hungry. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roof Hub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
This is Andrew Monaco, and the Aggies play here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
No place I'd rather be on a Tuesday afternoon than right here on the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix, well, he's off today. A little under the weather. They're going home, try to take care of himself, and get back sooner rather than later.
Does that
we will wish him well.
Does that include a casino at Circa? Maybe sitting at one of those tables down there?
Who?
With Sydney?
Minix? Oh.
No, you. You said nowhere you'd rather be on a Tuesday.
Well, since I'm not in Vegas, I'm in San Antonio. No plans to be in Vegas until August, so
should be fun.
Well, it will be, and then we'll get reacquainted at that moment in time. But I'm happy to be here today, Pledge, and happy that everybody's here with us. No matter how you're listening, if you're listening on the radio, thank you. If you're on our YouTube page, thank you for that, or any of the apps that you can do. And we appreciate you listening. We really do. Like and subscribe our YouTube page, by the way. If you're there, go to sasportstar.com. That's how you get there, and you can get it done from there. But this story is really taken on I don't know. It's sad in a way, and well, it's like, dude, what are you thinking? In a way, right? I mean, it really is, because this Brendan Sorsby is who I'm talking about. Came from Cincinnati and to Texas Tech. The Red Raiders reportedly paying this guy $5 million to play quarterback this year, and he is just taking a leave of absence to get treated for gambling addiction. Which is a sad thing in its own right. Obviously, you don't want to see that happening, but that's what he's doing. And as I'm looking through here at an article that I'm reading, it looks like this guy is screwed, and that screws Texas Tech, obviously, because they're going to have to go out and find another quarterback. I don't know what their quarterback room looks like at this point in time, but according to this article by Albert Breer in Sports Illustrated. The NCAA back in 2023 put in some guidelines into effect. It says that student athletes who wager on their own games or on other sports at their own schools face permanent loss of collegiate eligibility in all sports. I mean, it appears pretty cut and dry that Sorsby is going to be out this year and not going to be able to play college football again. Now, he's got a couple of options. According to Albert Breer, who says that he asked around a few guys that work in college football, a few who cover it, and every one of them believe that the NCAA are going to revoke Sorsby's eligibility. And if the NBA has any credibility left at all, and I'm not sure they do, they got to come down hard on this. You got to stop this now before it becomes just out of hand. And if it hasn't gotten out of hand already. Pledge showed me a story. Pledge, tell me that story, because I didn't write it down, but a gambling issue, where was this?
Okay, so Fordham University is involved in a point-shaving plot. Includes offers of $10,000 to $15,000 to two players in exchange for losing a game.
Wow. See, now that is obviously the credibility of the game is in jeopardy in a situation like that. Now, with Brendan Sorsby, it's been proven that he bet on his team when he was a freshman at Indiana. He bet on the Hoosiers.
Big no-no.
Yeah, you can't do that, obviously. So there's a couple of options, according to Albert Breer, for Sorsby if he wants to continue to play for the Red Raiders this year. He could file a lawsuit. He could seek an injunction that would allow him to play this year for Texas Tech. Obviously, Texas Tech probably hoping for that, and I would think that would be the first route that he would go. But Albert Breer brings up another option for Brendan Sorsby, the supplemental draft in the NFL. So he could enter the supplemental draft, which according to Albert Breer, and you start thinking about it, it makes a lot of sense. With NIL right now, the supplemental draft has kind of been not an option. I mean, it's just kind of almost going away. In fact, I kind of forgot it was still there, but it is still there. Because, look, most college players are getting paid, or the ones that could make the NFL are getting paid a lot of money in college these days. But a guy like Sorsby could jump into the supplemental draft and be drafted by a team that needs a quarterback or is thinking about, maybe like the Rams did with Ty Simpson, a guy that you could sit on the bench and learn from a veteran guy to take over when the time is right. Because by all indications, Sorsby has got a hell of an arm.
Yeah.
Guy's a hell of a quarterback.
But I think the gambling issue is going to at least give pause to teams on what they're willing to potentially part with. Like, it's easy to point to Pavia, but Pavia was undrafted. Like, teams weren't going to waste draft capital on him. Now, they may take some unguaranteed money shot at him, but
the Ravens have done that.
Yeah.
Signed him to a 3-year deal today.
I'm sure very minimal
I'm
guarantees.
sure it is. Absolutely.
But as far as it goes with Sorsby, I don't know what kind of draft compensation teams would be willing to give up in next year's loaded NFL draft.
There is that.
To take a gamble on a guy that you look at least, could he face league discipline coming in for what he's done?
You know, that's a good question, and I don't know the answer to that. I think, though, that Sorsby would have been a part of that quarterback class next year in the draft. So he would have been in the mix. Not sure where he would have gone considering the Arch Mannings of the world and some of the other quarterbacks that are going to be coming out in the NFL draft next year. But if that, according to Albert Breer, that's an option. And it is an option that he could take if his lawsuit is thrown out or he has no other remedy. He could enter the NFL draft. And it's going to be fascinating to see if anybody takes this guy. Now, look, I think we're all smart enough to know. First of all, if you've got a problem, get help. All right? And obviously he's got a problem. So get help. But I think Sorsby is trying to get ahead of this thing. And this is just me, conspiracy theory. I think he's trying to get ahead of it. That's why he went to rehab, so he can look the judge in the eye and say, look, I'm trying to fix this thing. Have mercy on me.
But that's the problem, too, is this truly him trying to get help, or is this a publicity stunt and you will fall easily back into your old ways? Because the hardest thing, because I don't think he's playing in the NCAA at all.
No, I don't think the NCAA can afford to let him do that unless a court says, we're going to study this or we're going to grant an injunction so you can play until a later time that we make a further decision. Because that could happen. I just don't know. But the NCAA has got to have some stones on this thing. And they've got to stop this, man, because it could get out of hand. You hear the thing that Pledge read about Fordham, which is a different situation than the Brendan Sorsby thing. But
it calls into the question the integrity of the game when
absolutely.
You're betting on your own team, though.
Did he play, though, then? I don't think he –
He did play one game.
Okay, so he was a freshman at that time, and so I'm not sure how much effect he would have had on the game. Having said that, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of like the Pete Rose thing.
It's insider trading is what it is.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like the Pete Rose thing, right? He said he only bet on the Reds, never against them. But still, it was a big no-no. Here's the other question. I saw this, and I don't know how much truth there is to it, because Pledge said he saw something that was completely different. So it's something we're certainly going to have to follow. How much did Texas Tech know?
Because I've seen conflicting reports.
Yeah, now I saw a report that they knew.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Before they signed him, they knew he had a problem, and there were these allegations against him. If that's the case, does Texas Tech face some sort of punishment if the NCAA can prove it? But again, there is a conflicting report that says they just found out about it a couple of weeks ago or something to that effect. So,
but even then, even if you knew that he was doing it, what punishment should you face? Because you can sign him, and maybe there's a clause in his contract, his NIL that he signed, that says you can't do that here. Like, they knew about it, but it was like, okay, you can't do that anymore. Like, we're aware there's an issue, and we're trying to put a stop to it.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see where this happens and where it goes. But I'm also seeing, and this just popped up again. It's the second time that I've seen this. Is Mike Vrabel in trouble in New England?
For what?
For the Rossini thing. There have been two.
What, the blue sweatshirt he bought her?
No. That he could actually either resign or be fired, because the rumor is you kick Vrabel out, you bring Mike Tomlin in. I'm just saying, I've seen that twice now. I don't know if there's anything to it or not. We'll see. I don't think there is. I mean, no. Vrabel took a team that, took him to the Super Bowl.
And it's infidelity. It's different.
Well, it is. It is.
That is a personal matter. And as far as I know, when it pertains to the New England Patriots, they don't really give a damn about, personal character.
They like happy endings. That's what they like. I doubt he's going to be fired, but is there a scenario where he might step down to try and, I don't know,
save his marriage,
take care of his, and then get back in?
No.
I don't know, because, let's face it, this was a dream job for Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Played for the Patriots, wanted to get back in there. I know Robert Kraft loves the guy, and he did a hell of a job last year. So we'll see what happens. I'm just saying, I've seen that a couple of times, and it just did. I didn't just run down a rabbit hole. It just, I had a...
He'd be unemployed for all of 2 seconds.
Well, exactly right. So we'll continue to follow that story for sure. This next story is kind of disturbing, and you talk about credibility. Adam Schefter is being roasted for incorrectly reporting stuff about George Pickens of the Dallas Cowboys. We'll talk about that. But first, we're going to give away some tickets, huh, Pledge? We got a Missions 4-pack to give away, and we wanted to do that. Now, it's not for tonight's game. It's for next Tuesday's game. I think the Missions are out of town anyway.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday night.
Midland Rockhounds.
$2
Tuesday.
$2 Tuesday. We got a family 4-pack to give away. So if you'd like to win that family 4-pack, all you have to do, is be caller number 11. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Caller number 11, you win a family 4-pack to go see the Missions next Tuesday night. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Coming up on the Morning Huddle, did the Spurs get the job done? We'll talk about it. Are we looking forward to the next round?
Who else might be gone fishing? Are the Celtics moving on? We'll talk about that. Is Pickens going to sign his franchise tender? Lots to get into, but you better set an alarm. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The other night I was at the Rue Pub watching Game 3, that incredible comeback, and there is no better place to go watch the playoff games right now than the Rue Pub, because, people were in there. There was a dude with his drums and his alien costume, and it was just packed. It was so much fun being in that kind of environment, watching meaningful basketball, and you get that at the Rue Pub there at 281 in Redland Road with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. And when you go into the Rue, go hungry. The food is incredible. Now, we were going after a Fiesta event. I just wanted a snack. Got the onion rings. They are fantastic. They have the biggest and best wings in town. I love their fried shrimp. They got about 15 different burgers on the menu. Their chicken sandwich, the hot dogs, the appetizers, even the salads. And that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late-night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Rue Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch playoff basketball. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Rue Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
I need a little
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club Sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Almost 90 years ago, Academy Sports and Outdoors was born right here in Texas. So we know a thing or two about a thing or two. Like beans don't belong in Chile. It's called a feeder road. And how far really means how long. We've been your neighbor for generations. That's why we're adding Texas-sized deals across the store, only in Texas. If you happen to find a better price at a competitor, we'll beat it by 5%. Academy. Fun can't lose.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. #1, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription, and I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really works so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I was just enjoying the music, Pledge. Pledge gets in my ear. Hey, Joe, wake up.
You're really vibing to that Duran Duran.
Oh, my goodness. No, that was good. I'm sitting. You know what's horrible is I get caught up in these stupid things on Twitter, and they're just stupid things going on, and I'm just sitting here.
Like that guy that knocked out that other dude for groping his wife?
Yes. That was crazy. I think he killed that dude. I don't know, man.
That punch hurt me.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. I get caught up in that kind of stuff, and you talk about a complete waste of time. Is it not? I mean, honestly, you sit there just scanning reels, and I'll start doing that, and I look up, and 45 minutes have gone by, and you're going, holy cow, what the hell's going on around here? This is the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am Joe Reinagle. I am awake, I promise. Jason Minnick's not here today. A little under the weather today, so we wish him the best. Hopefully he gets well in a hurry and gets his butt back in here. But we'll carry on. We'll make it happen and go from there. But disturbing story, and I hate this for Adam Schefter. But, I mean, look, if you bill yourself as an NFL insider or any sport insider, you're not going to get things 100% right. I mean, you're just not. But Adam Schefter's been pretty damn good. But until this George Pickens thing. Now, you remember, if you were with us last week, first round of the draft, the rumors came out that George Pickens had signed his franchise tag, which obligated him to come to work. So we all thought at that time, obviously, that, he signed his franchise tag. The only reason he did that is because, he's going to get traded. There's going to be a big trade between the Cowboys and Pickens and somebody else during the draft. Well, obviously that didn't happen. But Schefter reported that he had signed his franchise tag. Obviously, now we know that that's not true. George Pickens has not signed his franchise tag. And so that didn't happen. Then he goes on the Pat McAfee show yesterday, and it's been taken down. According to this article in Sports Illustrated, it's been taken down because he came out yesterday, and I even repeated this because I saw it on the monitor there in Pledge's Glass Box of Fun that Adam Schefter was reporting that Pickens was either going to get an extension or he wanted a trade.
I still have that audio from yesterday.
Is that right? Let's hear it.
He wants a long-term contract or he would like a trade. They have been very clear that they're not going to give him a long-term contract. So now that leaves them in a position, both sides, I think that's a little bit unsettled at this current moment. George Pickens signed the tender, so he is now contractually obligated to be there for mini camps, for training camp. He has to be there. Now, we'll see how that works out. He wants to be traded.
Well, there you go. And again, said that Pickens has signed his franchise tag.
Which was later proven to be wrong, which is why we never used this audio.
Well, and there you go. So, again, Pat McAfee has taken this down. So it's no longer there. Can't be there. But obviously he's wrong. Now, look, to Schefter's defense, I will say this. On Thursday, or was it Friday? I don't remember when. I guess the press conference that they had after.
It was Friday.
It was Friday. Stephen Jones said that Pickens was going to sign his franchise tag because they had a nice meeting with David Mulugheta, and Mulugheta had assured him that was going to happen. But obviously it hadn't. It didn't happen then, and it hasn't happened now. So if Stephen Jones was confused at that point in time, I could see where Adam Schefter might be confused at that point in time if he got his info from David Mulugheta. And I would assume, now, and I know what that means, but I would assume that Mulugheta is not just saying that to Stephen Jones, or if he said it to Adam Schefter, he had to believe, I would assume, that Pickens was going to sign the franchise tag. Well, again, obviously that hasn't happened, and so it's making Schefter look really bad. And the folks in Dallas, I saw a thing on Twitter. The guys at 105.3 The Fan were just livid about this whole thing. They were going off this morning on Adam Schefter, and I guess rightfully so. Because this whole George Pickens thing, the drama that could develop into, could be the likes of anything we've seen. What does he want to do? Obviously, George Pickens wants a long-term deal. I don't think there's any question. Every player does. They want that long-term security, and they want that done. Now, whether Pickens has come out and demanded a trade, according to this article, what Schefter said about him wanting a trade or an extension is not true. But he still has not signed the franchise tag. So, obviously, Adam Schefter is confused, gotten some bad information, and look, we've all done that. We've all done it. It's happened to all of us. But Schefter is getting paid a lot of money by ESPN to get those things right. And, he's not, and he hasn't. Maybe he should go to a resort with George Pickens. I find it interesting, though, Pledge, because Dan Graziano was on Get Up this morning, and he was talking about this situation. And he had a little bit of a different spin on this thing.
There's still an expectation in that building that he will. The key thing to understand about the George Pickens situation, is he going to play on the franchise tag, is the answer might still be yes. We have not heard from the player. A year ago, it was a Micah Parsons situation, and Micah, God bless him, like he lets us know everything he's thinking. Yes. We haven't heard anything from George Pickens, and it's one of the possible outcomes here is that he was told by the Cowboys it's franchise tag or nothing, and he goes, okay, fine, I'll show up and I'll show him. So until such time as we see him, we're free to speculate, but the expectation right now is still that he shows up and plays on the tag.
What we need is for Micah Parsons to book George Pickens on his podcast so we can get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, there you go. So maybe Micah can make that happen. Get Pickens on his show, and we'll get the answer. But this is, and Graziano's right. Pickens has been eerily quiet about this. If anything has come from anybody, it's come from the agent, Mulligetta, not Pickens. Pickens hasn't said a word. So you just wonder what's going on behind the scenes. I know that Pickens has been working out with Dak Prescott. They've been doing that. CeeDee Lamb and those guys, they've been working out together. And again, I have no doubt in my mind that George Pickens wants a long-term deal. Every player does. They don't want to play on the franchise tag, although I wish I could play 1 year in the NFL for $28 million. I really do. Especially
I wish I could play 1 year for the vet minimum.
And especially in Texas where they're not going to hose you on taxes. And you're going to make a lot of money in 1 year. And look, that's life-changing money. I don't care any way you spin it. It's life-changing money. But again, these guys are looking for the big bag and the security of a guaranteed $100 million contract that them and their kids and their grandkids, if it's handled right.
Because you could only get one.
Will be taken care of. So interesting stuff.
My question with this whole Pickens thing is because the report came out late Thursday, early Friday, going into day two.
Well, it was late Thursday because we thought there was going to be a big. I remember
it was late in the show.
Yeah, because we were out at Taste of the North Side,
and so I'm wondering because of the reports he was going to sign his franchise tag, which shocked everyone.
Yes, it did,
leading to the thought that there was going to be a trade, and now you wonder if signing the franchise tag is even still on the table because at what point, what's taking so long to get this thing signed?
Well, exactly.
Because
he doesn't want to sign it. He doesn't want to come to work.
Exactly. So you had to have thought that you were close on something.
Well, David Mulligetta's agent obviously thought that, or Stephen Jones is just lying, and I don't think that's the case. I mean, I don't think Stephen Jones would have come out and said, hey, we had this with Mulligetta. And Mulligetta
but he also said we have no intention of trading.
Well, no, he did say that, but Mulligetta strongly suggested, according to Stephen Jones, that Pickens was going to sign the tag, which surprised all of us. And because, again, unless you have every intention of playing on that, or you want to show Jerry Jones that you're a team guy and you come and you play and you're at the OTAs and you show up for work.
That's the only other thing. But if you're truly showing, hey, I'm going to be a team leader, I'm going to prove to you that I deserve to get this contract here in Dallas.
Because I look at it this way, Pledge, honestly. I don't see the Cowboys signing him to a long-term deal.
How can you?
Well, you can't, and that's my point. You can't, and I don't see them, if he plays under the tag this year, I don't see them signing him on the tag next year because it's $28 million this year, and projections have it close to $33 million next year. So I don't see that happening. So I don't think Pickens is long for the Cowboys anyway. And for Stephen Jones and those guys to come out and say we have no intention of trading him, I call BS on that. Because if somebody offers you something that you think is relevant, you trade the guy because you just don't have the money to pay 2 wide receivers that kind of money on long-term deals. So it's going to be fascinating and interesting to see what develops with this George Pickens thing. But Adam Schefter needs to rethink some things and stop saying that Pickens, because he said it as late as yesterday, that he had signed the tag, and that is just not true, according to everything that we know. It's not true.
And I know that was a thought of mine as we went into Monday. I was like, did he? Didn't he? There was like no reports over the weekend that he signed, so it was kind of assumed, I think, that he signed because the report was he would late Thursday, and I believe that was from Todd Archer, he was going to sign his franchise tag. So
well, everybody thought that because of what Steven said.
A lot of people, I think, just naturally assumed it was reported he was going to sign his franchise tag. It got done over the weekend just quietly.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. The other thing, I just want to touch on this because I think it's important if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Why in the world, Pittsburgh, are you messing with Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers has gone into a hole, I guess, because they haven't heard from him. So the Steelers went and did, I guess, what they thought they needed to do. They placed this thing, it's called right of first refusal tender on Rodgers today. He's free. He remains free to sign with any club. The team retains the rights to match any offer he gets from another team. But it also gives him a 10% raise over what he was making last year, which would be about $15 million this year. My question is, why? You drafted Drew Aller. You've got Will Howard. And I know they're young quarterbacks with no experience, but what good does Rodgers do you moving forward for 1 year? And when's the last time a 42-year-old quarterback started an NFL season? I just don't know why the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the most iconic franchises in the National Football League, are still messing around with Aaron Rodgers. Cut him loose. Let him go. He's playing you as it is. I mean, he's playing you. The guy's, what is it? I think he likes it. And I think it gives him some kind of a Woody or something to know that everybody's talking about him. And, is he going to sign? Is he not going to sign? Ooh, where's Aaron Rodgers going? You're done, dude. It's over. Go away.
I think he's a bum.
He is. Just go away. And it's Pittsburgh's fault as much as anybody. Cut him loose. Let him go sign with somebody else. He's somebody else's problem at that point in time. And either way, you're signing this dude to a 1-year deal. That's it. He's not going to play any more than that. Aaron Rodgers looked like the crypt keeper in the playoffs. He looked awful. And I can't imagine he's going to look any better coming in this year. I just don't understand some of these teams that are desperate for quarterbacks that would sign a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who obviously his best days are behind him. Cut the dude loose, Pittsburgh. Move on. You got a new head coach. Move on. I don't get it. Pittsburgh is too good a franchise to mess around and let Aaron Rodgers just play with the puppet strings. It's unbelievable to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Hey, anything you guys want to chime in on, you can certainly do that. Go to sasportstar.com. You can get to our YouTube page there. You can comment there. A lot of comments on what the Cowboys are going to do. With the George Pickens situation, you want to comment on Aaron Rodgers, you can do that. Or you can always give us a call. Do it the old-fashioned way. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Love to hear from you. We'll talk more Spurs basketball. We'll hear from some of the Spurs as well in the next segment coming up. And who knows what else we're going to get into. It could get crazy. It's Tuesday. Let's make it fun. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Blitz, 2 to 6 on YouTube and always at SASportsStar.com.
If you need your logo on any kind of gear, you need promotional items, go see Sam over at Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. You need your logo on any kind of shirt, a golf shirt, fishing shirt, dress shirt. Sam has all the big name brands, including Tommy Bahama, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Mathew, Port Authority. He has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. And, of course, all the popular cap brands in stock waiting for your logo, like the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike, Cap America. If you need T-shirts, screen printed, Sam will get you taken care of. And if you need uniforms, Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries. And if you're owning a business, you own a business, Sam does a lot more than just uniforms. His sign shop does signs, banners, flags, card magnets, vehicle wraps, window decals, and so much more. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. He's the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, no order too small. Call 210-824-3900 or get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro, a mile inside Loop 410 across from the McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Trying to keep up with today's fast-changing digital landscape? With more ways to consume content than ever before, it is getting harder to reach your customers. You need more than just a presence. You need the experts at Conrex Digital. We craft websites that convert. We curate engaging content on social and blog channels. We generate quality leads through Google and Meta. We dominate your competition on streaming TV. Bold marketing, real results. Conrex Digital makes it happen. Visit conrexdigital.com. That's conrexdigital.com.
Attention coaches, educators, and booster clubs. Need a fundraiser that's different from the rest? With Gardenville, supporters purchase something they already need. High quality, locally sourced mulch and compost. Your organization earns money on every sale. Real products, real value, with support from Gardenville to keep it simple. Ready to grow your fundraiser? Visit garden-ville.com/fundraising. That's garden-ville.com/fundraising.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Shh, here it comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. It's so loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
The U.S. Treasury just released its official financial report for 2025. Buried in it is a startling admission. By its own numbers, it appears the U.S. government is insolvent. When governments go this deep in debt, they print money, raise taxes, or cut benefits, none of which can help protect you. That's why people move part of their savings into physical gold and silver. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Spurs have a chance to close things out tonight inside the Frost Bank Center. They lead the Portland Trailblazers 3-1. Tip-off for Game 5 tonight is set for 8:30. It will be televised on ESPN. By the way, good news for the Spurs. The injury report is absolutely clean. Celtics looking to close out the 76ers tonight. Tip-off there set for 6. And the Knicks and the Hawks tied at 2. Play that pivotal Game 5 in New York at 7.
Sports Center brought to you by SAPDcareers.com. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope your Tuesday's going exactly the way you want it to go. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, well, a little under the weather today, so he's taking the day off to try and recoup and recover and all of that kind of stuff. And, well, we're glad y'all are here, though. Each and every one of you. Happy to have you along. Thanks for spending some time with us here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Big game tonight, obviously. We're talking about the San Antonio Spurs. And, you know, it is so cool to be able to, on April the 28th, talk about San Antonio Spurs still playing basketball. I am so happy about it. I truly am happy about it, and it looks for the foreseeable future anyway. We're going to get to continue talking Spurs playoff basketball.
Way to jinx us.
What happened? Jinx
you just jinxed us.
Dude, I already said they're going to win this game tonight. They're going to crush Portland. They're going to come out from the get-go. I'm telling you how the game's going to go. They're going to crush them. They're going to come out. They're going to step on their neck, and they're not going to let up on the pressure. The focus tonight is going to be fast start for the Spurs. They're going to come out and try to get a big lead early and keep it and keep Portland and just try and whatever heart they have left in their chest, rip it out completely, send them home. They're ready for vacation. It's all done. So if that jinxes us, well, then I guess I'll apologize tomorrow or maybe not. And
Probably not.
We'll go on to Game 6, and that's the way that it'll be. I see no scenario in which Portland wins this game tonight unless something horrible happens, and I just, well, obviously hope that doesn't happen. But, again, Spurs wrap this up, and they need to. And I talked about this earlier in the show, and I used Oklahoma City as an example. Oklahoma City much better than the Phoenix Suns. The Suns were outclassed. They had no chance in that series at all. It was just a matter of how quickly were the Thunder going to close them out. They swept them. That's a championship squad. You see that, you know you're better, you take care of business, and you get out of there. The Spurs, look, I don't blame them for losing the game. It happens. Look, Portland's got, they pay their players too, and they're good. And so I don't blame them for losing a game. But now they've got a chance to knock them out, and you can't let that chance go by. If you focus and call yourself a championship quality team, it's time to get rid of these guys, and you have to get it done. The Spurs are the better team. They're absolutely the better team, and they're going to get it done. And it's interesting because they did shoot around today. They did a little bit later than they normally do because, well, the tip-off is a little bit later than normal. 8:30 tip-off tonight inside the Frost Bank Center. Devin Vassell, though, warns us all that those closeout games are tough.
Yeah, definitely heard that. We just got to be ultra locked in. I think that's just a big thing, ultra locked in. We know this team. They know us. We know their tendencies. Just being ultra locked in from the jump. We don't need any past two games. Been tough trying to fight back, but we don't need to start like that. We need a great start so we can play how we know we can play.
No, absolutely true. Closeout games are tough. They're the toughest in the NBA because obviously Portland's going to come in. They don't want to go home just yet. They want to extend this series because they have to believe if they win tonight, they get it back to Portland for a Game 6. They can win that. And then, well, you got a Game 7, and anything can happen in a Game 7. That is for sure. So that's why you got to take care of these guys. You have to take care of them tonight and get it done. Here's what I love. Everybody's making I don't know if a big deal is the right word. I thought it was good. And I know a lot of people said it wasn't the Spurs way. I heard some criticism of Steph Castle when he put the basketball into Denny Avia's chest late in Game 4 the other day in Portland. But Devin Vassell asked about that today and was talking about this Steph and the team's dog mentality.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with Scoot, with Dylan, and then Denny and Steph, I mean, that's just how we are. That's just who they are as players, and that's how we are as a team. We're ultra physical. We're trying to get, in your head a little bit, under your skin a little bit, and I think that's kind of the mind games that we've been able to do with Portland. But like I said, it's going to be a really interesting game. But shout out to them, because at the end of the day, they're young players, but they don't play like that at all. They don't have a mindset like that at all, and that's a credit to them for sure.
That's interesting what he just said there, Devin Vassell. The Spurs have been getting into Portland's head. Maybe he's right. I mean, he's on the floor. He knows better than I, and I'm not sure if that was getting into Avia's head. Now, if you're Denny Avia, you're what's in your head is that you can't make a layup when Victor Wembanyama's on the floor. Now, that poor dude looked frustrated as hell in Game 4 because there were many times he would scoot down the paint. And he'd get it blocked, rejected, and that's tough. Now Carter Bryant is another guy that obviously has turned into a hell of a lot better player so quickly than I thought he would be. But he really has, and I think he's only going to get better. This kid just has all the tools. But he also talked about this team's dog mentality.
I love it. I think 1 through 18, all of us just love competitiveness. I think that's something that's so unique about this team. It's just, obviously, you're not going to get to this level without being competitive, but I would say we have ultra competitors. No matter what it is, whether it's a shooting drill, whether it could be something as stupid as, when we get off the plane, who's going to set up their game first? Who's going to be the first one down when we're playing team cards? Whatever the case may be, just little stuff like that. I think we see it in all aspects of life, and I think you see it on the court. We're not going to take no for an answer, and we have guys that are ready to respond at the end of the day. So I think I'm super grateful to be around this group, and I think we're just kind of like a match made in heaven, all of us together. We're going to all have each other's backs, and, whatever one of our teammates say or do, we're going to have their back and kind of follow suit.
That's true, and that's how this team has been all season long. They're a tight-knit group. I don't think there's any question about that. Very tight-knit group, and they get along together. They all seem to, that's for sure. I got to tell you all about this. If you're on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, sometimes the comments are funny. And during that bite, I saw this, and I had to laugh. David Macias with the line of the day. He says, if the Spurs win tonight, there will be a lot of Wemby Garcias and Victor Rodriguez's born next January. Hump night.
Hump day.
I thought that was pretty cool. Wemby Garcias and Victor Rodriguez's born next January. That's funny. That's funny as hell. Well, hopefully there'll be a lot of humping going on after the game tonight or during or whenever. Because the Spurs have got to take care of business. We're going to talk more Spurs basketball in the next segment. I want to because there's something here. And if you guys remember, and Pledge will play it for you. We asked yesterday about Mitch Johnson calling out Wemby. And some guys were asked about that. We're going to talk about it coming up here in the next segment. Is that true or not? And how did it inspire the rest of the team? We'll talk about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let me tell you about Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. Their phone number, 210-651-5899. You want to keep that number handy because they are experts at worst-case scenarios. And if you're dealing with a plumbing emergency, if you're dealing with your AC not working, you need somebody that you can trust to come out and get it working again. And that's what they do at Quartermoon. But it's not just emergency situations. They've got great maintenance programs, and they've got other stuff that you might not always think about, but you probably need to get done. They have created there at Quartermoon what they're calling the Breathe Easy package. And what that do, it will kick the funk out of your system, because if your house is smelling a little bit off, it might be your AC. So what Quartermoon is going to do with their Breathe Easy package is they're going to pull and deep clean your blower motor, your blower wheel, and your AC housing. They'll clean your coil and disinfect the inside of that AC cabinet, and then install a UV light to zap bacteria and other nasty stuff that could be hiding in your unit. You're going to get cleaner air, a fresher home, and an AC system that smells like it should. So call Quarter Moon at 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Individual results may vary.
Right now, I have 24 different units. I think that's 15 separate properties. I trust Ownwell with all my properties. I trust them to fight for me with the appraisal district as best they can, and they've done a very good job. Ownwell is making my life more efficient, making me a better landlord. Using Ownwell, I've saved on average about $10,000 a year. That's a lot of money.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be reduced. Ownwell combines savvy technology and deep local expertise to save real estate owners real money. Want to see how much Ownwell can save you on your property taxes? Just enter an address and see your tax savings estimate. See how much you can save with Ownwell right now. Text SAVE to 64,000. Text SAVE to 64,000. That's SAVE to 64,000.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Coming up on the Morning Huddle, did the Spurs get the job done? We'll talk about it. Are we looking forward to the next round?
Who else might be gone fishing? Are the Celtics moving on? We'll talk about that. Is Pickens going to sign his franchise tender? Lots to get into, but you better set an alarm. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Playoff basketball in San Antonio. A chance for the Spurs to dispatch the Portland Trailblazers. Big Game 5 tonight inside the Frostbank Center. Tip-off at 8:30. Spurs up 3-1 over a scrappy Portland Trailblazer team, and they have been that. That's for sure. But they got to be looking back at the last 2 games and just shaking their head because they had them in both of those games. Game 3, obviously, without Wemby. They had a big lead and blew that. And then, obviously, Sunday with Wemby. Sunday afternoon in Portland, they had a big lead. 17-point lead at halftime, and they blew that. Interesting. Boy, I tell you what, they got to be looking back at what could have been and what might have been had they just held on to the lead. They didn't. Spurs can wrap things up, and that's why I hope they do tonight. Just take care of business, move on, get rid of Portland, because you don't want to see them back in Portland again for a Game 6. You know what's interesting about that? We've been talking about their cheap-ass owner, what is it, Dondon, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Apparently, I saw something today. In fact, it was the Trailblazers who tweeted it out earlier today. You know, when they came here the first time for games 1 and 2, they didn't send their, I don't know, their G Leaguers or their they did this time.
They're two-way players.
Yeah, they did this time. So I thought that's interesting. And I don't know, maybe the owner thinks a change of pace, or maybe it's the last trip and he's just going to reward the guys, give them a little, a candy bar and say, here, fellas, take a trip to San Antonio.
Candy Lee.
Well, that's a whole different ball game, Candy Lee. So I don't know, but I thought that was kind of interesting. So maybe he's hearing a lot of the heat, not only from Portland fans, but from the rest of the country about how cheap he is. I thought that was funny too, Pledge, because Adam Silver was asked about that early in the series, and Adam Silver didn't think there was anything wrong with it. I don't
You
know.
really think he's going to throw an owner under the bus?
Well, probably not, because he works for those guys, doesn't he?
Yep.
Again, a fast start tonight. I'm expecting that from everybody, including Victor Wembanyama. We talked about this a little bit yesterday when Mitch Johnson talked about the trust that he has in Wemby. And the question was asked to him after Game 4 that every time, basically, Coach, every time Wemby hit the floor, were you holding your breath? Well, listen to his entire answer.
I didn't, to be honest. I've learned to trust that young man, and I'm rolling with him. And I think the challenge now is for him to continue to play the way he did in the second half for the whole game. And when he does that, we'll be tough. But if he doesn't do that, there's a ripple effect for our team, and that's the responsibility that comes with being the face of the franchise and the best player.
And so I did call him out. Yeah. Was it a challenge? Yeah. But I think it sent a message to Wemby, but not just Wemby. If you listen to Devin Vassell today, he was asked about Mitch's criticism of the big man.
Yeah, they definitely made an emphasis at halftime, and Vic being the player that he is, he accepts the coaching, the accountability in response like that, and that's the type of player that we know that he is. He's the best player in the world. So to be able to get coached not only by coaches, but by your teammates, to be able to hear it from them, to come out and respond like that just shows the growth, honestly.
And we all talked about that. We all watched the game on Sunday, and there's nobody that I know of that thought Wemby had a good first half. He didn't. He looked like he was walking in mud. He was just a step slow. He didn't look like he was into the game all that much. And then he comes out in the second half, and he's a much different player. He's Wemby in the second half, and he played like that. And so it's interesting. I don't know what was said in the locker room other than maybe what Mitch just told us on the podium after Game 4, that he challenged his big star to play like that, like he did in the second half all the time. And Mitch is right. If Wemby plays like that for 48 minutes or however long he's in the game, the Spurs are going to be a very difficult team to beat. But again, it's Wemby, and Mitch Johnson mentioned this. It's Wemby who sets the tone for everybody. If he's playing the way he played in the second half, it just all trickles down. Now, again, I think it was De'Aaron Fox who lit the fuse in Game 4 and got them going. I really do. He was fantastic, and I think he lit the fuse. Wemby followed suit, and then so did everybody else. And that's the way that it is. And you figure your two leaders in De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama, that's what they need to do. And they did it. So that's why I am optimistic tonight that the Spurs will come out and they will play a much different ball game from the opening tip. I think the energy is going to be there, and I think I don't know. My gut tells me that that's how they're going to start this game. Because, look, Carter Bryant was asked today about the slow starts the Spurs have gotten themselves into.
I'm just coming out playing with force more than anything. I think we're the best team in the league when we play with force. When we understand what we need to do, play with force on both ends of the ball, just being physical on and off the ball, making the right play for our teammates, playing off 2 feet, just being fundamentally sound on both ends of the floor. I think we're unstoppable. So just understanding, at the end of the day, we can be to our own detriment, and we've seen that in these past few games, and just understanding, what's the right mentality, what are the things we need to do moving forward to get us in the right place. And I mean, we bounced back, but there's no reason we should have got ourselves in that situation. Obviously, Portland was playing really good basketball, and they earned that lead by playing the correct way, but we just shouldn't have been in that position in the first place.
Well, I think the Spurs helped him get into that position, and not taking anything away from Portland, because again, I think we've probably given them more credit than a lot of Spurs fans have. I mean, this is a scrappy team. They've come out, they've done a good job. Thiago Splitter, I think, has just been phenomenal with this team, and not just in this playoff series, but from taking over in very difficult circumstances. I mean, your coach involved in a gambling scandal, and he's he's out early on, and you got to rebound pretty quickly, and Splitter was able to do that. And I think it's a travesty that they're looking for coaches in the middle of a playoff series to replace this guy. But I think he's earned a spot on somebody's bench, and I think Thiago Splitter will find that, whether that's in Portland or somewhere else. I think he's going to land on his feet. This audition for Thiago Splitter in the National Basketball Association has been fantastic. So, having said all of that, I hope his season ends tonight along with the rest of them. But I just really expect this Spurs team to come out on fire tonight. I honestly do. And I think part of that is, and we heard from some of the players talking about their dog mentality. And a lot of that comes from Steph Castle and what he did at the end of that game on Sunday afternoon in Game 4 when he made the layup and he brings the ball down and he pushes it into Denny Avia's chest. And there started a little bit of a scuffle, nothing serious, but a little bit of a scuffle. But that I like that kind of attitude, and I'm not calling for that every night. It's not something he should do on a regular basis. But I think in that situation, it was just, hey, we're better than you, and you've been pushing me around. I mean, if you'll remember that play and think back, Avia was just banging Castle. He was bringing the ball down. I mean, he was knocking the crap out of that guy. And so I think Castle, it was a little frustration on his part. And he did that, but it got the attention of a lot of people because Steph Castle doing stuff like that. I mean, if you didn't know who Steph Castle was before, you do now, because he had a little attitude and he showed a little moxie and pushing that basketball into Avia's chest, I think was fantastic. I'll tell you one guy who certainly opened the eyes of, if he hadn't before, was Draymond Green. Steph Castle, I mean, Draymond Green just lavishing praise on Castle.
Stephon Castle's been incredible. Saw someone on Threads the other day like, yo, hot take, man. Stephon Castle going to be all NBA next year or something. Brother, that ain't no hot take. Stephon Castle is a winner. Stephon Castle is a special player. And to see him taking this leap in these playoffs like this, I think in these playoffs he has been the most important player for the Spurs. He'll never get credit for being the most important player because they got Wemby. But, man, you take Stephon Castle off that team, that is a completely different team. That kid there, I think, is special.
I think he's special, too. I think the Spurs think he's special. Spurs fans think he's special. I don't know if he's the most important player on the team, though. I'm not sure I would say that. But I will say this. The way Steph Castle can play, and we all talk about Wemby and what he can do on both ends of the floor, and he's fantastic. But you got a Steph Castle can do the same. I mean, honestly, when you look at a Steph Castle and the way he plays defense, he's fantastic. He can assist this guy. He's a hell of a passer. And he finds open teammates, and he can score. He is a special player and a huge part of the Spurs' success. And so, I look at this team, and with a Wemby, obviously very young, Steph Castle, young, Dylan Harper, young, Carter Bryant, young. I mean, my goodness, the future of this San Antonio Spurs team certainly is bright, extremely bright. I think the biggest problem for the Spurs front office is, and moving forward into the future, is keeping all of these guys. Are you going to be able to do that? And I mean that sincerely, because you think about all these young guys that are coming up and that are going to get paid. Obviously, Wemby's going to be the focus. Steph Castle's going to be the focus. Dylan Harper is going to be a focus. And I think all of them. But that's going to be a chore. And that's something to look for deep in the future. Hopefully a couple of banners have been hung in the Frostbank Center by the time those decisions have to be made. But that's going to be the biggest challenge for this team. Right now, this team is rolling. They've struggled a little bit with Portland. That's obvious. They have. Tonight, you put them away, and you look forward to whomever you're going to face in the next round, whether that's Minnesota or whether that's Denver. Either way, it doesn't matter. Spurs will have some time to regroup because, quite frankly, I think that series is going to go 7 games, and I think the Denver Nuggets end up winning it. Fred Villarreal on our YouTube page says that Brian Wright selected him number 4. There were some teams that had an opportunity to go get Steph Castle. They didn't do it. Unfortunately, he was there when the Spurs drafted at number 4, and they took him. Look, Brian Wright, I think, deserves a lot of credit. And we had the Executive of the Year award given out, and it went to the Boston Celtics. But Brian Wright had 2 first-place votes. He had a couple of second-place votes. So he was in the mix, obviously way down the line, but he was in the mix. And I think he should have been in the mix. And we talked about it. Brian Wright's done a phenomenal job. And it's funny how fickle we all are. And I put myself in this category as well. Brian Wright, 2 years ago, we were ready to can the guy. We were ready to get rid of Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson. It's time to move on from these guys. They don't know their roles. They don't know anything. What's good about what they've done, and I'm talking about Vassell and Keldon Johnson in particular, and it's kind of hard to blame those 2 guys because when they first got here, they were the guys in San Antonio. But when Wemby got here, they still wanted to be the guys. Certainly Vassell did, and I don't think he knew exactly where he fit in the mix. But he's learned that. He has learned that. Keldon Johnson moving to the bench, being the first guy off the bench and winning the 6th Man of the Year award. It's just been phenomenal. And he has accepted his role. And all of those things have to happen for championship teams to survive and win championships. And these guys have done it. They have done it. And they all know what their role is. And they all know how to play within that role. And I think it's just fantastic. But tonight is a test in my mind. You got to take care. You got to send a message to the rest of the NBA, to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the rest of the NBA that you are a championship quality team. You're going to put inferior teams to the curb. You're going to throw them away in their season and do it in the right way. And the Spurs need to send a message tonight to everybody else that they have arrived and that they're going to get that done. And this series is over, and you wait on the next victim. And that's what's got to happen tonight. We'll talk about some of the other NBA action that took place last night, that's going to take place tonight, and what the ramifications are when it comes to the Spurs. I can't wait. And I love talking about playoff basketball again, man. It has been way too long. And we'll continue the conversation here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you've been dealing with low energy, gained a little weight, low sex drive, might be time to get your testosterone levels checked. And I say might be, it is time, so you can get back to feeling like yourself again. You need to go into Synergenics or Low T Center and get your TRT test. And if you need it, get TRT customized to your body. You see, at Synergenics and Low T Center, they deliver hormone therapy built around the individual. It's not a standard protocol. Every treatment plan is customized based on lab work, symptoms, and provider evaluation, with ongoing adjustments designed to keep patients optimized safely over time. Unlike telehealth middlemen, Synergenics operates as a vertically integrated medical practice. From diagnostics and provider oversight to treatment management and ongoing optimization, patients receive coordinated care designed for long-term results. And they also offer medically guided peptide and metabolic therapies that can support recovery, sleep quality, body composition, healthy aging, and even weight management. Right now, Synergenics and Low T Center are offering the T-Test for men free. Hormone testing for ladies is just $99. Normally, that's $200. So book that initial appointment now. Normally $299, so you're saving $200. Book that initial appointment now at Synergenics.com, Synergenx.com.
Hi, I am Officer Sarai Walton with the San Antonio Police Department. SAPD is always hiring, and you can apply online if you think you have what it takes to become part of the SAPD family. Submit your application at sapdcareers.com. Once you submit your application, you will be contacted to begin the process. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring. Start your journey to a rewarding career by applying online at sapdcareers.com. That is sapdcareers.com.
If your Mother's Day playbook involves grocery store roses wrapped in cellophane, we need to have the talk. This year, flowers are out. Academy is in. Because at Academy Sports and Outdoors, we believe Mom deserves gifts that won't wilt in 3 days. Like new rods and reels that'll make the local fish nervous, new paddles for her budding pickleball career, and the latest Nike styles to make the other moms jealous. Give fun, not flowers. Academy. Fun can't lose.
What is it, boy? Someone need help? Someone in trouble? Oh, okay. So you just want me to get Progressive Auto Insurance because their collision coverage covers up to $1,000 in vet bills if you're injured in an accident? That's it? Okay. Calm down. Let's not resort to name calling.
Progressive's collision coverage helps pay for care for your pet when they're in the car during an accident.
No, you're right. Sorry. I shouldn't have said calm down.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage included with purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Evan Cohen here. PayPal is now the official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, are covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to your friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Just download the PayPal app, share all the moments that matter. Account with PayPal is required, not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Let's be honest. Watching the Rangers is better when you got something on the line. On Rangers game days, call your shot with the morning huddles. Rangers double dinger payday.
Play ball!
Pick the Ranger you think will send one into the seats. He hits one, you're going to a Rangers game. He hits two. Now you've just been upgraded. Tickets and a hotel stay. That's what we call getting paid. Wake up with the morning huddle. Make your pick and win with the morning huddle's Rangers double dinger payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
Pledge, anybody won that double dinger thing that they're doing in the morning? Have they? Nice. A lot. 4 people? Holy cow. Well, you guys are good. Huh? Not bad.
Only the single game, though. Nobody's gotten a double dinger yet.
No double dingers. We talked yesterday about some dude who hit that 7-man parlay. Unbelievable. $1.8 million on a $30 bet. Craziness. Just I like dinger or dong. Dong. Dinger. Whatever. I used to say dinger. Sometimes dong on the air at Ken's 5. That's just what you do.
You're a rebel.
Yes, that's me, Pledge. Absolutely. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minnick's a little under the weather today, so he's trying to go home and rest and recover. He'll get back as soon as he possibly can, for sure. In the meantime, we're going to talk a little NBA playoff basketball because, well, it's a favorite subject right now, without a doubt. Spurs again in action tonight and taking on the Portland Trail Blazers, trying to knock those guys out. Who are they going to play? That's the interesting part of what's next. Because the Denver Nuggets stayed alive last night. They had a must-win game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. It was a Game 5, and it was a must-win game for them. They got it done. I was scared to death, and I'll tell you why. Denver was an 11.5-point favorite last night, and I went to bed after the third quarter. They were up by 22. I'm thinking, man, this is over. They're killing them. There's no way that they have a chance to come back and make me pay. So they almost did. As I'm sleeping, snoozing, thinking, hey, I got money in my pocket. Well, the Timberwolves outscored them in the fourth quarter by 10. Fortunately, just by 10. So the Nuggets end up winning by 12, and the spread was 11.5. So I got lucky. Yeah, it's just this crazy feeling, though. I wake up today, and I look at my phone, and I go to the score, and I'm going, holy cow, what happened? It was unbelievable. I could not believe it, but it's okay because I won anyway, and that's all that matters is if I win or not. So that's good. So we don't know what's going to happen. They will play again. I believe Thursday is Game 6 for Denver in Minnesota. Back in Minnesota. Now, keep in mind, I still believe that Denver's going to come back and win this series. And I only say that because, look, Minnesota's a good defensive team. They really are. But the problem is who's going to score. Last night it was Julius Randle. He scored. He carried the load for them. And, man, I tell you what, he was special. I just don't know if he can consistently do that. And that's going to be the key to it. They can still play great defense, though. And we'll see what happens. The Joker finally got going last night. He had a triple-double last night and looked very Joker-like. Well, I'll be quite honest with you. He has not looked that way in this series. I think it's been one of the worst series that Nikola Jokic has had in his entire career. Although there's something about the Minnesota Timberwolves that give the Denver Nuggets just fits. They absolutely give them fits. But
his name is Anthony Edwards.
And Anthony Edwards is out. And most likely, you know what? I'm going to stick my neck out. He ain't coming back for this series. Now, if Minnesota moves on, there's a chance, they say, that he could come back in the next series against San Antonio. But that's still a long shot. No Anthony Edwards for the remainder of this series. Obviously, DiVincenzo is done for a year. He snapped that Achilles. He's done. And look, that kid, you talk about a weapon from the outside. That kid can flat out shoot the three-pointer. So unfortunate for Minnesota, and I hate to see that. And you've heard me say that before. I don't want to see anybody injured. I don't want to take the easy route. But again, there's no way of knowing. And it's just unfortunate. And typically teams that go on to win championships are the teams that are the luckiest when it comes to health. That's just a fact. And so you hope to stay healthy. And that was a comment we had on our YouTube page. You can get there by going to sasportstar.com. That, tonight is all about, yes, winning. You want to win the game, but you got to stay healthy. You want to stay healthy. No injuries tonight. And obviously it's hard to predict whether that's going to happen, whether it's not. But
are you suggesting we sit Wemby to keep him healthy?
No, I'm not suggesting that at all. Not at all. No. But I'm just saying, lucky. You need to be lucky and fortunate not to have bad things happen. Win the game, get out of there as quickly as you can. That's why I want to say start fast, man. Get a big lead, and then sit Wemby. I'd be okay with that. Just get him off the floor as quickly as you possibly can. But we'll see what happens. So Denver, Minnesota still alive. Don't know who the Spurs are going to face. Oklahoma City closes out the Phoenix Suns last night. And I've said this a number of times, and I believe it to be true because it just is. And I think you can send signals to other teams in the NBA. Now, I'm not saying anybody's shaking in their boots, and whoever Oklahoma City plays in the next round, whether it's the Lakers or the Rockets, I think it's going to be the Lakers, but they're not going to be scared of them going into that thing, so it doesn't matter, but I think it does send a little bit of a message. Look, Oklahoma City's the better team. They swept Phoenix. They got rid of them as quickly as they possibly can. That's why I say the Spurs need to do the same thing and send that message. Get rid of Portland tonight. Get them done. Get them behind you and start looking forward to the next round. So Oklahoma City looking good. SGA is going to win the MVP award. There's no question in my mind he's going to. But, boy, he's getting a lot of flack. He is getting a lot of flack. And
deserved.
Well, I guess it's deserved. I don't blame him, though. I don't blame him.
No.
SGA is a flopper. There's no question about it. He's a flopper. And he's an expert at it. Following a long line of floppers like James Harden and LeBron James, and there are others. But he gets away with it. He gets the calls. I've seen a lot of tweets and people on social media saying, oh, this is just, you can't watch this kind of basketball. You can't. Until the officials do something about it or stop calling that nonsense, he's going to keep doing it. When the man gets to the free throw line 15 times a game or however many he gets there, why would you stop? You wouldn't stop. And it would be malpractice if he stopped. Until the officials do something about it, then he's not going to stop, and you're going to continue to see that. You'll see it in the next round, whoever they play. You'll see it in the Western Conference Finals if they get to that point. And it's going to happen. That's just his game. And he's getting the calls right now. And unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, the NBA's always been a league that the superstars get calls. They do. And SGA is the biggest star in the league right now. He is. He's about to win his second consecutive MVP award, and he's going to get the calls. So there's no reason for him to stop doing it until the refs make him stop doing it. That's the only time he's going to stop. So if you're looking for SGA just to wake up one morning and say, this is just not a good brand of basketball, I'm going to stop flopping. I'm going to stop getting to the free throw line. Well, it ain't happening. It ain't happening, and it shouldn't happen. And if SGA stopped doing it, and if I'm the coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder, I'm saying, hey, dude, stop. Go. Do what you're doing. That's just the way that goes. So OKC closes out Phoenix, and they're waiting for their opponent as well. The Detroit Pistons are an enigma in my mind. They really are.
Are they?
Yeah, they are. The number one seed in the Eastern Conference. They look good in the regular season, but I think in the regular season it's so much different. And quite frankly, the Eastern Conference sucks. I mean, there may be, 3 or 4 teams that are worth a damn. So, I mean, it just does, and it's been that way for a long time. And I guess they could hide a lot of things. Cade Cunningham, to me, is a great player. I mean, he was a front runner for the MVP award for a long time until he got hurt, had that collapsed lung. But he is a great player. The problem for the Pistons is he's pretty much the only guy they've got, the only guy that's producing. And he's not enough. One guy is not enough. I don't care who you are or what your name is, whether it's Cade Cunningham or Victor Wembanyama. It's not enough. So you got to have some help, and he's got to have some help as well. But I think they're in trouble. Down 3-1. They lose last night to the Orlando Magic. Now the series heads back for a key Game 5, a must-win game for the Detroit Pistons in Detroit. I think they'll win that game and send it to a Game 6, and after that, who knows? And it wouldn't surprise me, quite frankly, if Detroit ends up coming back and winning that series. I mean, you're talking about a 1 seed against the 8 seed. And it can't happen, obviously, and we know very well here in San Antonio that those kind of things happen. Spurs lost to the Memphis Grizzlies one time in a 1 seed, 8 seed situation. So, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me, but I just don't think they're going to go any further than that, because if they have to face, and I'm not sure what side of the bracket they're on, forgive me, but whoever they face next is probably going to beat them, whether that's the Boston side or Cleveland or whatever the case may be. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in that series. Problem for the Orlando Magic, they've got an injury problem. One of their best players, Franz Wagner, had a strained calf last night, and he may not play. in tomorrow's big game 5. That's a big loss for the Orlando Magic. And I think the Magic are a team that is up and coming. I really do. I think they're up and coming, and I think they're a couple of years more. Paolo Banchero is a hell of a player. I really like him, and I think Wagner is a good player. And they've got some good players on that team, and I think they're up and coming, and we'll see where they go over the next 2 or 3 years. But they're going to be pretty good. Will they beat Detroit in the first round? Well, they certainly got their foot on their neck right now. We'll see what they do with it as we move forward. I know you've heard this. Cooper Flagg named Rookie of the Year. And I heard something today, and I don't know what show it was on. I was watching one of the ESPN morning shows, and that a lot of the reporters that vote for these awards voted after they saw Concanoople kind of have a lame game early in the playoffs. It was in the play-in tournament, I think, and he just he couldn't hit he couldn't hit anything. and it affected some of their votes. It shouldn't. It's not supposed to. But according to whatever I was watching this morning, they said it did, and it did affect our votes. And so they went with Cooper Flagg, who, look, who's going to blame him? Cooper Flagg, from the All-Star break on, certainly played like a man possessed. And I cannot wait to see that young man improve. He's only 19 years old. Think about that. 19 years old. He's going to be tough over the coming years for sure, and he is in the Western Conference, at least as we sit here today with the Dallas Mavericks. So going to be interesting. Now, the Lakers with a chance to close out Houston, this is tomorrow night. This has been, I guess, along with the Orlando-Detroit series, the Houston Lakers series has been one of those series that's just kind of a head-scratcher. I mean, it really is. When is Houston going to finally get over the hump? I say that people have been talking about Houston for the last 2 or 3 years, being the team, coming up and being that team, and they just fail miserably. That's got to piss you off a little bit, Pledge, as a Houston guy.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought after last year they were the team, they were the 2 seed. They were basically who the Spurs were this year. They were the team that shocked everybody. They were young, they were up and coming. The Van Fleet injury really hurt that team. They needed a point guard, a leader for that offense, and you can tell they're missing it. Getting a Kevin Durant, what the knock on that team last year was they didn't have a guy that they could go to when they needed a bucket. Mm-hmm. And that's what Kevin Durant was supposed to be. So seeing them kind of collapse backwards after adding that just because they don't have a true floor general this year is tough. And now you've got the potential trade, and is he on his way out after getting his extension already after 1 year? Like, it's tough to deal with knowing you had the pieces in place that made you one of those up-and-coming teams that everybody was really high on for their future with all their youth. And now it's like, well, what are they?
I heard a story, I guess it was after their Game 4 win, that it was Alperen Şengün who had some kind of motivational speech in the locker room and that motivated everybody. So they got that win. They certainly didn't want to get swept. I don't know that they can beat the Lakers and come back in this series. I really don't. But especially if you're going to get an Austin Reeves back, the way LeBron has been playing, although I think he's a little bit gassed, to be quite honest with you. So I guess it's possible, but
and they still have the young pieces. You got Şengün still. You've got Amen Thompson, who I think is an up-and-coming star.
No
Jabari Smith Jr. Like, there's still pieces in place. Reed Shepard is a three-point floor spacer. I think Van Vliet will help kind of stay the ship next year for this team. But it's going to be interesting to see how this Kevin Durant thing plays out this offseason.
Well, it's just weird, this Kevin Durant thing. I mean, it is just weird.
Apparently he's underground water treadmill training, but away from the team.
I guess, and that's never a good thing. That's never a good thing. Ime Udoka was asked about Kevin Durant. Is he going to play? Is he going to be available for this game? And Udoka just simply said, we'll see. So I'm not even sure he knows completely what's going on with Kevin Durant, but It's kind of a weird situation with guys like that. I was talking about Aaron Rodgers earlier. I say, sometimes guys, I don't know. They just want to go off by themselves. Kawhi Leonard was that way too, and it's just, it just causes problems, I think, for teams, and especially when you want to be cohesive and be a team.
You're gonna like how I kind of work all of this in to kind of shift the topic just a little bit. But the Spurs, obviously, they have done a good job of bringing the right kind of guys in.
True, and which they're famous for, by the way.
And they are. And, Houston and bringing in a Kevin Durant, you've kind of skewed off of that path of you had a good, young, tight-knit core that was together, and now you've kind of disrupted that. How do you get that back on the track? It feels a lot the way the Dallas Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer, the culture he's building up there, it feels like the Houston Texans are doing a very similar thing with the kind of guys they brought in. A lot of people thought Keelan Rutledge may have been a reach, or a guy like Marlon, the tight end from Michigan that they brought in the second round that a lot of people thought was a reach, but he's a guy that stuck through and became a captain during the turmoil that Michigan went through this year with Shamar Moore. And it feels like this year more than any other, Houston's kind of identified a type of guy that they want, especially on the offensive line, and they're trying to build around that culture. The same culture they built on the defensive side of the ball, it feels like they're trying to build a similar culture on the offensive side of the ball.
I think it's the only way they win.
But I think that's the perfect building block for any team.
Well, I think
whether
you're
it's the Spurs, whether it's the Rockets, whether it's an NFL team, it's finding similar, like-minded guys that are willing to buy into a culture, a mindset, and a team aspect.
Now, I can say this and look back, and hindsight is always 20/20, but you remember in the offseason, Kevin Durant, it was rumored he wanted to come here to San Antonio. And I said, no, I don't want him here, because they had the young group, and they were building that young group, and I didn't want him here. And it's not a knock on Kevin Durant's game or anything like that, but it's just I didn't want him here. And I just didn't think it was necessary to have him here. And now, obviously,
and you're right.
Well, hindsight is 20/20, obviously. But I didn't want him here. I just didn't think it was. To me, that was a reach. And I think the Spurs, honestly, never had any intention of signing Kevin Durant. And so is obviously the Houston Rockets wanted him. They signed him, and it hasn't worked out too well for them either. They had some stretches during the season where they won consecutive games, and they had some win streaks, and they looked like they were playing pretty well. But I think the biggest problem may not be Kevin Durant, although that's part of it. Main problem is what we talked about early was you got to have a point guard.
And I think we've seen this just especially in the NBA in general. A lot of these teams, like the death of the super team, if you will.
Yeah.
Because we've seen with Oklahoma City what San Antonio's doing now, what Milwaukee initially did when they won their title, what Denver has done building their team through draft and the right kind of guys that they bring in. And Aaron Gordon, who's willing to kind of do whatever it takes for a Denver team, and going and getting a Cam Johnson, like the guys that can fit into certain roles and accept those roles on a team level, rather than trying to put a bunch of superstars together, which can win you a bunch of regular season games, but it becomes an issue when you're trying to formulate a team.
Draft and develop is great, and it's necessary. But I love what the Spurs have done, because they've done this as long as I've been covering this team. Young guys, and you bring in veterans. You bring in a De'Aaron Fox. You bring in a Harrison Barnes. You bring in a Luke Cornett. You've got to have a mix. They've got to be the right guys, but you've got to have a mix of those young players that you drafted, you are developing, but guys that have been there and know how to play and know how to lead the young guys. And I think that's exactly what this Spurs team has done. And, again, Brian Wright deserves a lot of credit in this thing. And, he's done a great job. And we'll see where it takes him.
And credit to Jerry Jones, seriously,
executive of the year.
But for swallowing, because usually you see a Colton Hood there late in the draft. with questions and everything that surrounds him. And that's the kind of guy that Jerry normally just can't resist going after, is that shiny piece, whether it's offense, defense, whatever it may be, that there may be some questions or issues or even trouble with certain guys that he can't help but go get. But it feels like Schottenheimer and the rest of the organization are all on the same kind of page in terms of bringing in the right kind of guys that fit the culture that he's building in terms of competing every day, the putting contests, that kind of stuff. It feels like the Cowboys are actually getting the right kind of guys in the building.
Well, I think Jerry Jones is realizing he's got to give up a little bit of that hold that he's had on it and what he wants to do. And I think it's at least on paper, it's working right now. The fact that they went out and made a trade with San Francisco for D. Winters, to me, that was huge.
Huge.
That was as big as anything they did in the draft.
I thought it was under-talked about.
Well, it really is, because that's the position that they needed. They went out and got that guy. And, you talked to San Francisco after that. So we didn't want to get rid of him. He's been great for us. We didn't want to get rid of him, but, it's one of those things. And sometimes
salary cap's real.
Hey, sometimes in the NFL, you have to do that. And big move. Everything Jerry has done and the Cowboys have done, whether it's Jerry or Steven or a combination of all of them, Will McClay, Shoddy, whomever, they've done it right. And on paper, right now, the Cowboys look like they have solved a lot of their problems. Of course, we'll see come September whether they have or whether they have not. We got an hour left. Charean Williams is going to join us. We'll talk some Cowboys football with her coming up about 5:15. And who knows what else we're going to get into. We're going to get into a lot of stuff. More Spurs basketball. Game night San Antonio coming up, brought to you by Vision Source. We will talk about that. Get you ready for tonight's ball game. Boy, I can't wait. I really cannot wait. We'll do all of that when we continue here on the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio. A little premature with that, wasn't I? Let me tell you about my Connecticut. I hear the jokes already out there. All right, that's enough. Stop it. One of the most popular water softeners on the market is the Connecticut quality water softener. I love mine. Been in our house now for many months, and I tell you what, I don't know what we did without it. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what we did without it. That thing has made such a difference in everything that we do. When it comes to, I don't know, the clothes out of the washing machine, the dishwasher, the shower, you just feel good coming out of the shower. There's no scaly nothing on you. It really is kind of cool. And all along, with a Connecticut quality water softener, you're protecting all those appliances. You're protecting all the pipes that you have in your house because of the hard water that we have here in San Antonio and South Texas. Look, it is the absolute best. And if you're going to do something for your house, for your family, you want to get the best. And Connecticut's throwing in a little cherry on top, if you will. When you buy a Connecticut quality water softener, they are going to give you for free a reverse osmosis drinking station. They'll even install it right there at your kitchen sink. And what that means for you is you don't have to drag bottled water into your house from the grocery store. Not to mention the fact all those empty bottles that you got to figure out what to do with and throw away and just causes problems all over the place. You don't have to do that anymore because you've got bottled water without the bottle right there at your kitchen sink. Whether it's for drinking or cooking or whatever you use it for, it is a fantastic product. The reverse osmosis drinking station, absolutely free, plus free money. How about 0% interest for 12 months? What an incredible deal. It is time to do it. Get it done. Get yourself a Connecticut quality water softener. 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at ConnecticutSA.com. You know the jingle, sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio and have been practicing law here since 1994. And in the past 30-plus years, I've helped hundreds of San Antonians injured by negligent drivers. If you've been injured in a car-truck collision, call me, 210-900-0400. I did want to let you know of a very disturbing trend I've seen that you really need to be aware of. If an attorney or someone acting on that attorney's behalf calls you after a traffic collision, with very limited exceptions, that is called barratry or solicitation. It's a crime and is unethical under our state bar rules. Do not answer these phone calls. do not hire an unethical attorney. Neither I nor anyone in my firm will ever call you after a traffic collision. If you need my help, and if you've been injured in a traffic collision, I think you do, you'll need to call me. My name is Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Attention coaches, educators, and booster clubs. Need a fundraiser that's different from the rest? With Gardenville, supporters purchase something they already need. High quality, locally sourced mulch and compost. Your organization earns money on every sale. Real products, real value, with support from Gardenville to keep it simple. Ready to grow your fundraiser? Visit garden-ville.com/fundraising. That's garden-ville.com/fundraising.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? Just sit here and reflect? Like, why am I qualified to influence anyone? And how those weights are hollow? And half of my followers are bots?
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99 now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Spring into savings this truck month at North Park Chevrolet in Castroville, your 6-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year. Lease a 2026 Silverado 1500 Crew LT for $589 a month, 0 down. Or drive a 2026 Silverado 1500 Crew Custom for $36,999. New heavy duties have 3.9% financing, no payments for 90 days. Together, let's drive North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes by Loop 410 in Castroville. Must qualify. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
What is it, boy? Someone need help? Someone in trouble? Oh, okay. So you just want me to get Progressive Auto Insurance because their collision coverage covers up to $1,000 in vet bills if you're injured in an accident? That's it? Okay. Calm down. Let's not resort to name calling.
Progressive's collision coverage helps pay for care for your pet when they're in the car during an accident.
No, you're right. Sorry. I shouldn't have said calm down.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage included with purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs can move on after tonight. Big Game 5 inside the Frost Bank Center. They lead the Portland Trailblazers 3-1. Tip-off set for 8:30. It will be televised on ESPN. Everybody playing for the Spurs. A clean injury report. Cooper Flagg is the NBA Rookie of the Year, snapping the Spurs streak of 2 straight Rookies of the Year. And Emmitt Smith's kid is now a Kansas City Chief.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Well, happy Tuesday. Yeehaw. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. I know you are if you're getting off work about right now because your Tuesday is all but over. The fun part of Tuesday is coming up, the nighttime. Thanks for spending a little time with us here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, a little bit under the weather, so he is not with us today. Hopefully he gets well soon, and we'll get back in the saddle pretty quickly. But we'll carry you through this last hour, that is for sure. We've got some stuff that is just coming down the pike, which is really interesting. I've got a report here from Pete Thamel. On the NCAA. Apparently, the NCAA has initiated the final steps to expand the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments to 76 teams. That is incredible. Now, the expansion, which has been discussed well over a year, it's on track to be formalized in the upcoming weeks. It would begin this coming season. according to Pete Thamel, which is pretty incredible. So we'll follow that. 76 teams. I want to talk about that when we get into it. And I also want to talk about this. And I'm really curious what you guys think about this. I think that's a big mistake for the NCAA. But having said that, there's another piece of breaking news, and that involves the NBA reportedly unveiling anti-tanking reform and explaining rule changes for the draft lottery odds. Now, according to Charean, the NBA has disclosed to its 30 general managers the new anti-tanking draft reform termed the 3-2-1 lottery. That's what it's called. It includes expanding the lottery to 16 teams, flattened odds, and a regulation zone where the bottom 3 teams will be penalized with fewer lottery balls for the number 1 pick. That is interesting. The bottom 3 teams actually have worse odds than everybody else.
So you want to suck, just not too bad.
Not too bad. You want to suck and be 4th worst, not 1, 2, or 3. Wow, that's interesting. And look, I'm all for it. I don't know if this will work or solve the problem completely, but I think it will. It definitely will help, especially when you're talking about the bottom 3 teams. Fewer lottery balls for the number 1 pick, starting with the 2027 draft. My goodness. So it won't take effect this year. Everything that's in place is in place and will go on as normal. But those are the 2 pieces of breaking news. Not sure what you guys want to talk about first. We can go back to the NCAA because I just think it's a huge mistake, an absolutely huge mistake. I don't understand unless it's to get another night of these play-in games or whatever it is for money purposes. That's the only thing that I can think of. But 76 teams. What do we have? 68 now, so they're going to add 8 teams to this thing.
Are there 8 teams even worthy of being in the tournament at that point?
I don't think the 4 they added several years ago are there any worthy. Now, Texas made a run. So I guess, that's, look what Texas did. And I guess it's possible.
But they were playing, but it was playing to be like an
11 seed.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's not like a 16 seed.
Think about that with the other play-ins. For the 16th seed, you're going to get whacked. The only thing, it's got to be all about money. I mean, that's what it's got to be because it just makes, to me, no sense. I'm curious how you guys feel about this because I love the NCAA tournament. I wish they would have left it at 64, left it alone, and be done with it. I did not like the expansion to 68 teams. But they did it, and the play-in and all of that kind of stuff, and I don't know, it just didn't add a lot for me. I preferred what they had. But they're going to do it. So what do you guys think about that? You can comment, go to sasportstar.com. You can get on our YouTube page and comment there. Or you can give us a call the old-fashioned way, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. And then the other, the NBA, just on the face of it, and I'm just seeing this for the first time because I don't recall any of the original proposals or the stuff that we heard leading up to this point in time where the bottom 3 picks get less balls than everybody else. That to me is, I love that.
Never want that.
Well, I love that. No, not personally, but I love that. I mean, sure. So it's interesting stuff, but Fred Villarreal says NBA teams are going to find a way to circumvent. They always do. Claymore's talking about just give me my top 3 pick in this year's draft, Adam Silver, then do your next thing. Okay, so true, right? And that's what we think here in San Antonio. These changes are being made after we get Wemby, after we get Dylan Harper. So for Spurs fans, at least for Steph Castle for the foreseeable future, the Spurs won't have to deal with this because they're not going to be in the lottery for the foreseeable future. I just don't see a scenario at any point in time where this team is going to be in the lottery anytime soon. So interesting stuff. Couple of pieces of breaking news that just came down, and we will talk about it for sure coming up. But coming up next, I want to talk about the Well, the Dallas Cowboys, what they did in the draft, and the best person to go and do that with is Mother Football. Charean Williams with ProFootballTalk.com. She joins us next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I do want to introduce you to Window Nation. Love Window Nation. They've come aboard, partnered with us, and we've partnered with them, and there's fantastic people. And I love the fact that as soon as the partnership began, they came inside the station here and gave us a demonstration of just how good their windows are. Not only that, but how much money they're going to save you on your electric bill and your heating bill. It's amazing how much leaks out of your home day in and day out when it comes to either your air conditioner in the summertime or your heater in the wintertime. And how much of the cold air in the wintertime gets in and the hot air in the summertime gets in as well. It's amazing to me, and they showed that demonstration. And look, if you've been thinking about windows, or if your electric bill is high in the summertime or in the wintertime, whatever the case may be, it might be time to start looking at new windows. And right now is a perfect time to do that with Window Nation. They've got a sale going on called the More You Buy, the More You Save sale. In fact, you could save up to 50% off all your windows. Plus, you can get them with 0% interest for 5 years. It is an incredible deal that they're running exactly right now. And these are top quality windows. In fact, they're so good that Window Nation backs them with a lifetime warranty, not to mention the fact that they're rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. Like, don't wait to put an end to your window problems. In fact, right now, before it gets too hot, it's a perfect time to get this done. And when you go to windownation.com, they'll come out to your house. They'll give you the same demonstration that they gave us here at the radio station, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. You want to save big now with Window Nation's The More You Buy, the More You Save sale. Sale's not going to last forever. It is just too good of a deal. So go to windownation.com. Do it right now. windownation.com and schedule your consultation.
Got a buddy who thinks he knows baseball? Perfect. On Rangers game days, prove it with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger you think will launch it out of here. He hits one, you and a friend are headed to a Rangers game. He hits two. Now, you've got tickets and hotel. Yeah, you're making a night of it, and your buddy's buying the first round. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Call your shot and win the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Healthy vision is about more than seeing clearly. It's about going beyond. From comprehensive eye care with the latest technology to advanced vision solutions that provide deep insights into your overall health. And with doctors who build lasting relationships founded on trust, ensuring that every detail is taken care of. I choose Vision Source to never miss out on life's precious moments. Vision Source, beyond your eyes.
What is it, boy? Someone need help? Someone in trouble? Oh, okay. So you just want me to get Progressive Auto Insurance because their collision coverage covers up to $1,000 in vet bills if you're injured in an accident? That's it? Okay, calm down. Let's not resort to name calling.
Progressive's collision coverage helps pay for care for your pet when they're in the car during an accident.
No, you're right. Sorry, I shouldn't have said calm down.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage included with purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney, an attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400.
We're back here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minnick's a little bit under the weather today, but somebody who's always ready to go. And joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line is Mother Football, Charean Williams with ProFootballTalk.com. Charean, how's your Tuesday? Everything good?
Well, we'll see. We're under level 4 tornado watch, and there's some tornadoes out there right now, so moving this way. So
oh, my goodness.
Fingers crossed for all of DFW, because it's not looking good.
Oh, my goodness. I didn't know that. That's terrible. Yeah. Well, be careful, will you?
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
No sirens here yet, but they're Weatherford and out that way, Palo Pinto and Parker, so prayers for those people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Prayers for them, no doubt about it. We'll just start, Charean, your impression of the Cowboys draft over the weekend.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job. I thought they had a good draft. Getting Caleb Downs is one of the players they had on their board that they wanted to get and had to move up one spot to assure that they were going to get him. I think that was good, and just, you know, a big emphasis on the defense, which we all know that's what they needed. One of the worst defenses in the NFL last season, gave up a team record 511 points. If they had even been mediocre, as we all know, last year, they probably would have made the playoffs and might have been a contender. So I think they've gotten it to the level now that they're going to be better. Is it going to be good enough? And I think that's the question.
Well, I tell you, Charean, the Caleb Downs pick, I think he is going to be a star in this league. I really do. You know, you look at the rest of the draft, and yeah, it looks good on paper, but remains to be seen. I think Downs, though, is a sure thing. And I really we had an opportunity to talk to him here on the show yesterday. It just seems like a great young man.
Well, yeah, and I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago about what a good safety brings to your team, and the Cowboys have never won a Super Bowl without a Hall of Fame caliber safety. They did it with Cliff Harris in the 70s, and they did it with Darren Woodson in the 90s. Now, Woodson was a rookie in 1992 and only started 2 games, but he was still kind of an integral part of that defense. Downs is going to start more than 2 games, I can guarantee you that. Now, the question becomes, how good are these rookies going to be as rookies? Because normally rookies aren't that good, as we all know. They need some time to learn. I think Malachi Lawrence is going to be one of those guys who's going to need some time. I think he'll be far better in his second, third years than he's going to be in his first year. But the Cowboys need these guys to contribute now. And so I think I'm with you. Long term, I think Caleb Downs is going to be great. The Cowboys need him to be great this year.
Mm-hmm.
Can he be great this year? I think that's the question. I think he'll be good, but can he be great? Because they really need him to be great this year if they're going to have a chance to contend.
Well, I tell you, Charean, I can't wait to see him play football. I'm really looking forward to him in a Cowboys uniform. I think one of the underrated things that happened during the draft, though, was the Cowboys trade with San Francisco for D. Winters. I thought that was a great move by the Cowboys.
I thought it was a good move. There's a reason they're moving on from D. Winters. There's a reason they re-signed Dre Greenlaw instead of sticking with D. Winters. There's a reason that they have other off-ball linebackers that they're going with and gave him up for basically nothing. There's always a catch when those things happen. Jordan Brooks is better, way better than D. Winters. I would have preferred Jordan Brooks, but let me put it this way. He's better than anything else. To go with Overshown, better throw out Overshown. He's better than anything else they got on their roster right now. So he'll come in and start, and, he did that last year after some injuries that the 49ers had, and so we'll see what he can do in Christian Parker's defense. I think Christian Parker's going to be very good. I think he's going to make these guys better, and I do think he'll make D. Winters better. I like the trade. I'm just saying Jordan Brooks would have been better. I think you'd been more excited if you get Jordan Brooks, a guy that won 2 Player of the Week awards last year over, by the way, Myles Garrett twice. Still sticks in my craw because it should have been Myles Garrett twice, but Jordan Brooks had 2 extremely good games. But they're not going to get Brooks. The Dolphins wanted too much, and maybe we'd have been sitting here mad about how much the Cowboys gave up to get him. But they are better with D. Winters than what they had.
No, absolutely. Charean Williams with ProFootballTalk.com joining us here on the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Charean, I've got to ask you, this George Pickens situation has been a mess. But yeah. Adam Schefter is kind of misinformation here a couple of different times, and he hasn't signed the franchise tag yet. Although even Stephen Jones thought it was going to happen last week before the draft. So, what is your take on what's going on with George Pickens?
It very much could have been a ploy to see if someone would offer them something for George Pickens, because he has to sign the tag in order for them to trade him. Now, they could agree to something, and he would have to be part of that agreement, because otherwise he wouldn't sign the tag. So if you're trading him to the Jets, he's probably going to say, no, I'm not signing the tag, forget that, type deal. So it would have to be an agreement with him. But if you say he's signing the tag, then that alerts teams that, okay, available for trade, if we're interested, go talk to them. It's obvious that they didn't get anything or didn't get enough if that's what they were looking for. I don't know that. I'm just speculating here. It would be stupid, frankly, for him to sign the tag. I can't imagine that he's going to sign the tag until some point way later on. It doesn't make any sense to me. You can give a player more money than what the tag says you can give them. Even after July 15th, they could give him $35 million for 1 year if they wanted after July 15th. They can give him whatever they want. If I'm George Pickens, that's my only leverage, is not to sign the tag, is to hold out and say, I ain't coming for that amount. You could put in incentives. A lot of teams put in $3 million in incentives, $4 million in incentives. You hit those incentives, we pay you that money. I would expect that he won't sign the tag until they come to some sort of agreement like that. It just doesn't make any sense to me that he would sign the tag unless they're going to trade him. Makes no sense whatsoever. That is his only leverage that he has, and the only way he can get more money this year, because they've already said they're not signing him to a long-term deal.
Well, that's what we thought when we heard Stephen, when the news came out. I think it was Thursday before the first round of the draft that he had signed his franchise tag. That's immediately what we all thought. Well, there's a trade about to go down, and then when that didn't happen, and then you find out later that, well, he didn't sign his tag after all. Kind of weird, but And I get where you're coming from. Could have been a ploy. What do you think would be the biggest holdup for a team? Would it be because I don't think the Cowboys are going to get a big haul for George Pickens? Is it the extension that somebody would have to sign him to?
Yeah, I mean, you look at all the problems he had in Pittsburgh, and I mean his time management has been a concern for the Cowboys. It was last year. I mean, that's no secret how much he was tardy. And so there's concerns about what is he a pro's pro? I mean, and if you're going to sign somebody to that large of a deal, you want to know that he's going to do most of the things that he did right last year. Is he going to be a guy who gets his money and rests on his laurels and say, all right, I got my second contract, I'm good. I don't have to work hard. I'm not going to do the things, that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not going to show up for practice. I'm not going to show up for meetings. I'm not going to be on time. None of that matters now because I have my money. Is he going to be that guy? No one knows when he gets that money if he's going to be that guy. So to commit that amount of money to a guy that you just don't know that he's going to be there every single day for you is a risk. And I just don't think anybody's willing to risk that. So right now he's not getting the amount of money that he wants to get. Nobody's going to give him that long-term deal that he's looking for. And again, I think the best play for both sides is for the Cowboys and George Pickens to come together and say, "This, you know what you're making on the tag. We'll throw some incentives in there. Those incentives will make him play hard. Those incentives will make him show up. Those incentives will make him happy that he can go out and try to earn those and make more money than what the tag pays him." And I think that's the agreement, frankly, that they should come to.
Charean, it's amazing to me, and I guess, I'm not a pro football player, obviously, but when you're talking about $28 million, I'm in. It's a lot of money, but I get these guys want long-term, security. I get all of that. I look ahead, though, Charean, honestly, the Cowboys tag him. If he plays on the tag this year, I don't think they'll tag him again. I mean, you're talking about over $30 million next year.
I think they'll tag him again. I do. I think they'll tag him again, and we'll be back right where we were with the potential trade. Look, if he plays as well as he did last year, you're either tagging him to keep him or you're tagging him to trade him. I don't think you're just going to let him walk on the open market. Could be wrong. We'll see what kind of year he has. I mean, we're hypothetical and getting way ahead of ourselves because he hasn't even. We got to deal with the tag right now, but. The tag this year. But I do think they'll end up tagging him next year. That still would be under market value, and you could trade him. And if he has back-to-back good years, then I think there will be trade interest. I really do. I think they'll get more than they would get in a comp pick. And so you tag him and you either trade him or you tag him and you keep him. And now he's not going to be happy playing under the tag 1 year, much less 2.
Yeah, well, that's true. Charean Williams with ProFootballTalk.com joining us here on the Blitz. Charean, I've got to ask you about Aaron Rodgers. You see what the Pittsburgh Steelers did with him today.
Yeah.
I wonder, and I know they've got a couple of young quarterbacks that aren't proven, but why is Pittsburgh even messing with this guy?
Well, I think they think he's their best option to win this year, and they think they've got a team good enough to win this year. And if they bring him back, he can groom those young quarterbacks, and they can figure out if one of those guys is their quarterback of the future. So I think that's what it boils down to is they feel like he gives them the best chance. But, yeah, it's drama with him. It's not showing up until he has to show up, and, he wants to be the center of attention and all those things we have come to learn about Aaron Rodgers. You have to deal with all that if you want Aaron Rodgers on your team. Now he had no other options before today. I mean that was it. He was either going to play for the Steelers. I think he was either going to play for the Steelers or he was going to retire. And I think that's still the case. And I still expect him to be the Steelers quarterback when all's said and done. But yeah, the drama, if I'm the Steelers, would drive me ballistic.
It would drive me insane. It drives me insane now, Charean, and I don't have anything to do with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So it's just crazy stuff. Charean, we appreciate it. Please stay safe and let us know how you're doing, will you?
Thanks for having me, Joe.
Absolutely. Charean Williams, ProFootballTalk.com, joining us here on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. Boy, I tell you what, it's amazing I didn't know the weather was that severe up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but my goodness, that's bad. Certainly prayers for all of those that are in the path of the storm coming up there, including our favorite, Charean Williams. That is for sure. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get you ready for tonight's big Game 5. Oh, my goodness, I am so looking forward to what's going to take place. It is our Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by Vision Source. We'll do that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Coming up on the Morning Huddle, did the Spurs get the job done? We'll talk about it. Are we looking forward to the next round?
Who else might be gone fishing? Are the Celtics moving on? We'll talk about that. Is Pickens going to sign his franchise tender? Lots to get into, but you better set an alarm. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
Hi, I'm Zoe, a personal stylist at Macy's Herald Square, and I live for our friends and family sale because I can say yes to the brands my customers have been eyeing, like BCBG, 30% off, Kendra Scott, 30% off, Steve Madden, Levi's, yep, 30 off. And yes, there's 15 off Macy's Beauty and Fragrance, too. Yes, you can also sign up for Star Rewards and earn faster at Macy's Friends and Family today. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Spring into savings this truck month at North Park Chevrolet in Castroville, your 6-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year. Lease a 2026 Silverado 1500 Crew LT for $589 a month, 0 down. Or drive a 2026 Silverado 1500 Crew Custom for $36,999. New heavy duties have 3.9% financing, no payments for 90 days. Together, let's drive North Park Chevrolet, 10 minutes by Loop 410 in Castroville. Must qualify. Call 830-355-2107 for full price and offer details.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With Smart Business Buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic, the delicious daily detox that will keep you feeling your best. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon or pick up some at your local CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive Home and Auto Bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers, not available in all states or situations.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself. And Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable. with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
If you're just joining us here on the Blitz 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, a couple of breaking news items that broke late this afternoon. One from the NCAA. They have initiated the final steps to expand the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments to 76 teams, and the NBA has disclosed to all the GMs in the league an anti-tanking reform that expands the draft lottery to 16 teams, flattens odds, and have a relegation zone where the bottom 3 teams are penalized with fewer lottery balls for the #1 pick. So interesting stuff, and obviously we'll talk about that in the days to come as we get more and more information on that. But we got a big game coming up here in San Antonio tonight. Spurs, Blazers, it is game night San Antonio.
This is Game Night San Antonio. Brought to you by Vision Source on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Every weekday game night, The Blitz with Jason and Joe get you inside and ready for tonight's game. From insiders to an in-depth preview of tonight's game, this is Game Night San Antonio. Brought to you by Vision Source. Beyond your eyes.
Game night San Antonio, brought to you by Vision Source. Big game tonight. Spurs with an opportunity to close things out against the Portland Trail Blazers in this first round series with the Blazers. They are at home. They should get this thing done, I hope. They need to. They need to take care of business tonight, get this thing over with, and look forward to the next round. But, the players know these closeout games, according to Devin Vassell, are the toughest.
Yeah, definitely heard that. We just got to be ultra locked in. I think that's just a big thing, ultra locked in. We know this team. They know us. We know their tendencies. Just being ultra locked in from the jump. We don't need any past two games. Been tough trying to fight back, but we don't need to start like that. We need a great start so we can play how we know we can play.
See, I think that's the key right there. The Spurs in the last 2 games have not gotten off to good starts, and they've fallen in a hole both games. They've had to rally back. And look, you're just playing with fire when you do that. I mean, you really are. And the Portland Trail Blazers, even though they're down 3-1, you got to figure they've got a little bit of confidence knowing that they've been able to get a big lead on the San Antonio Spurs team, one without Wemby, one with Wemby. And they were able to get that done. So I think it's important that the Spurs come out and get this thing done, start quick, and go. And not have to try and come back from a double-digit deficit. That's for sure. Now, one thing that might be a game changer tonight is the fact, if you'll recall at the end of the game in Game 4, Steph Castle had that a little fluff up. I guess dust up with Denny Avia. And where he stuck the ball in his chest. And, well, Devin Vassell, and I think a lot of people, even though you don't want to see that every day, I certainly don't want to see that every day, but I think at that moment it was appropriate. I had no problem with it. And Devin Vassell just says, hey, we got a dog mentality.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with Scoot, with Dylan, and then Denny and Steph, I mean, that's just how we are. That's just who they are. As players, and that's how we are as a team. We're ultra physical. We're trying to get, in your head a little bit, under your skin a little bit, and I think that's kind of the mind games that we've been able to do with Portland. But like I said, it's going to be a really interesting game, but, shout out to them because at the end of the day, they're young players, but they don't play like that at all. They don't have a mindset like that at all, and that's a credit to them for sure.
They're young players. Well, so are you, Devin. You guys are pretty young players too, and you haven't been playing like young players, playing like veterans. And it's just going to be so interesting to see because, look, you got to figure Portland's going to come out, try to play physical. They're going to try to get off to a good start. They would love to nothing more than to build another double-digit lead tonight and try and hang on to it. But the physicality is what I'm worried about, and they're gonna get into them. They're gonna get into Wemby. They're gonna get into Castle. They're gonna get into Vassell, and it's gonna be a physical ball game. Nobody wants to go home, including the Portland Trail Blazers. They don't want their season to end just yet. They'd like to keep playing and keep going. So we'll see what happens. I tell you, it's interesting because if you look back at Game 4, Victor Wembanyama coming back from the concussion protocol looked like he was playing in mud in that first half. I mean, he really did. He looked like he was just a step slow. He looked like he was not interested in playing basketball, quite frankly. But then all of a sudden that changed in the second half, and Wemby came out, and he was Wemby again and played very Wemby-like along with De'Aaron Fox. They all did good, but part of it may have been what Mitch Johnson said to his star in the locker room, Devin Vassell.
Yeah, they definitely made an emphasis at halftime, and, Vic being the player that he is, he accepts the coaching, the accountability in response like that, and that's the type of player that we know that he is. He's the best player in the world. So to be able to get coached not only by coaches but by your teammates, to be able to hear it from them, to come out and respond like that just shows the growth, honestly.
Absolutely. And here's what I love, what Mitch Johnson did. He's challenging his biggest star on the team. I wonder where he learned that from. Greg Popovich, perhaps? Greg Popovich would treat Tim Duncan like everybody else. And he would challenge Timmy to do the same thing that Mitch Johnson did to challenge Victor Wembanyama. And that's why I truly believe, and I would imagine that in the locker room before the game starts tonight, that challenge might be reiterated. And he might come out and say, hey, remember what we talked about in Game 4. Let's start the game that way instead of waiting until the second half to start the game that way. And I think you're going to see that. That's why I'm really confident that the Spurs are going to get off to a great start tonight. I truly am confident that they will. And, well, at least I hope that they do because we need them to. Let's get this thing over with, man. It's just time to get this thing over with, without a doubt. That's Game Night San Antonio, of course, brought to you by Vision Source. And, of course, we'll have all the reaction to whatever happens tonight. Hopefully we're talking about a Spurs victory and waiting for the next round of the NBA playoffs after a big Spurs win tonight. But you know what we do about this time every Tuesday night? We have our injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Online at TSAOG.com. Dr. Richard Nauert joins us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And Dr. Nauert, how's your Tuesday going?
It's going well. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Talking a lot of Spurs basketball, obviously, but there's nobody to talk about with you because their injury report was clean. That's the good news. The bad news is for the Minnesota Timberwolves. 2 of their big stars out. I want to talk about Anthony Edwards because, according to reports, he's going to miss multiple weeks after hyperextending his left knee and suffering a bone bruise. Is that a typical timeline for an injury like that, just from what you're used to, just a couple of weeks?
It's a great question. It's a little bit different for everybody, but certainly often and common to have injury take longer to recover from. Obviously, these guys are kind of the best athletes in the world and have all the recovery tools around them. It's good that he avoided any ligament damage from what I heard, but still a tough injury, especially with the way they were playing the Denver Nuggets. Hate to see it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Nobody wants to see injuries like that in the playoffs. It really is unfortunate. And while Anthony Edwards has an opportunity to come back if the Timberwolves get past the Denver Nuggets, Dante DiVincenzo does not. Torn Achilles. And, Doc, it always makes me really curious because I mean, he just moved wrong, I guess. Is that Achilles with these high-class athletes that sensitive, or is it just a bad movement at the wrong time?
It's so tough, and it really comes down to bad luck. Some of these guys do have a little bit of inflammation in the tendon ahead of time that they've been dealing with or working through. But sometimes it's just a plant wrong and a twist, and there it goes. We've seen it plenty of times here recently with, of course, Tatum and Durant a few years ago, and Lillard, Tyrese Halliburton, and all those guys. And so it's just these guys have such a high demand for their Achilles that it can just happen.
Dr. Nauert, who's joining us here on the Buyers Barricades guest line with TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, it's just so unfortunate with these guys and what they do. Typically an injury like that, and I know you don't know a lot about it and haven't examined the guy, obviously, but that's about a year-long process, is it not?
Yeah, most of the time it's a year long or even sometimes longer. Obviously, Tatum's kind of been a little bit of the exception with his ability to come back and be so successful, but it's a tough process and a tough rehab process. You have to allow that tendon to heal and fix it surgically, and then the recovery and rehab time on top of that just takes time.
I tell you what, now typically what is that? It involves surgery and then just, I would imagine, a ton of rehab.
Ton of rehab. In a lot of people with Achilles ruptures, you can actually get them to heal without surgery, believe it or not. But in these high-level athletes that have such a demand for their Achilles, surgery is typically recommended, where you're reattaching the tendon either back down to the bone or sometimes repairing the tendon back together depending on where it tears. And the surgery really is the easy part, and the hard part is just the recovery. It's a balance between allowing it to heal and then building up the strength and then getting the mobility and the function back that's required for an NBA athlete. And so for these guys to come back playing as well as they do, as quick as they do, it's impressive.
Visiting with Dr. Richard Nauert from TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. And Dr. Nauert, I was kind of curious because when I saw DiVincenzo, when this happened, and obviously he grabbed his Achilles and you kind of figured, well, that's what it is. But he actually got up and walked off the floor. Is that typical?
It's not always typical. I mean, you see it some. I think Kobe had a similar situation. But these guys, they're so much adrenaline. They're just tough as nails. They can power through it. But most of the time, if I tore my Achilles, I would not be walking off the court, that's for sure.
Well, you and me both. I'd be crying like a baby, I'm sure would be my situation. Yep. Kevin Durant is an enigma when it comes to the Houston Rockets. They don't know if he's going to play in Game 5 of their series, which is a big game for them. I guess diagnosed with a bone bruise in his sprained left ankle. Understand, Doc, he's going through some water therapy. Is that something you guys do?
Water therapy is nice because it takes a lot of the force and impact that traditional walking or jogging or running has. It allows you to kind of have a stress-free environment to work on motion and strengthening. I know he's been getting around-the-clock treatment. I guess that's why he wasn't on the bench the other day. But hopefully he can get back and play in the series. The NBA is a better place with Kevin Durant playing in it, I think.
Well, I think so, and Houston needs him. And if he doesn't play in Game 5, that could be the end of it, and he'll have a long time to recover from that bone bruise and that sprained ankle, that's for sure. Dr. Richard Nauert joining us here from TSAOG. Dr. Nauert, you've got all kinds of injuries this time of year, and I'm wondering, I know these guys are the best of the best athletes in the world, but after a long NBA season, are some of these injuries, do you see more this time of year?
Yeah, I think you certainly do. I mean, it's tough to play an 82-game season. I mean, we can talk about the merits of that, for days, but these guys grind all year, and then they're really put to the test in the playoffs. And we know that a lot of these injuries do come down to really overuse and stress. And look, no one's 100% at this time of the year. None of those guys are. They're all playing through something. And it's just whether or not you're able to successfully do it or not.
Well, and that's absolutely right, and it's tough, and especially, and again, I hate to see injuries like this, Doc. I mean, I really do, and I know you do too. Being a basketball fan, nobody wants to see a subpar team on the floor when you're looking for quality basketball.
Right, you want to see everyone put their best foot forward, and just like that Minnesota-Denver series, I mean, Minnesota is a different team than it was those first, few games, that's for sure.
All right, Doc, I'm going to put you on the spot. Spurs win tonight?
Spurs win tonight. They close it out.
There you go. Is a guarantee from Dr. Richard Nauert.
That's right.
Doc, we appreciate your knowledge, and thanks for joining us today.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Dr. Richard Nauert from TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com. We appreciate his time. And, of course, all of our guests join us via the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
I just sent you something to kind of close out the show on. I think you'll like it. It's in your Twitter DM.
Yeah. It's a picture of, I don't know, Sydney Sweeney or Livy Dunn.
No, actually, it's newsworthy.
It is. Let's see. It's in my Twitter. Is it the shirts? The T-shirts? Is that what it is?
No. Further down.
Oh, further down.
I just sent it.
Okay.
It's regarding the LIV.
Oh, okay. Well, of course I'm going to like that, especially if it's bad news for them. Live Golf, a statement from Live Golf. In coordination with the governor of Louisiana, we have made the strategic decision to explore moving Live Golf Louisiana to a new window later this fall. Well, they're out of money, apparently. Right? I mean, they're out of money, which is ridiculous.
They're canceling a tournament in Louisiana.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? I'm sure every Louisiana person there is just, oh, no. Except maybe the people that were going to, work the event and make money off of it. But it's like, again, I tell you what.
Although I did see something in Louisiana this week at the PGA Tour event that I didn't think I'd see anywhere but on the Live Tour.
What was that?
The tarps off.
Oh.
The dude that took his shirt off to hit that ball out of the edge of the water and just ended up like spraying it back into the water.
See, I love that. And I'll tell you a quick story. The golf course that I play in Kerrville, there's one hole pledge that there's a
home course.
There's a Charean that lives there, right there on the tee box. It's a par 3, and
is that the one the par 3 I played?
Yeah,
that third hole, right?
No, this is I don't know what it is. There's 3 courses out there, so 3 9s.
Yeah.
So I think it's number 8 that I'm talking about, but her house is right there. So she calls the pro shop if anybody's out there not dressed appropriately. Now, nobody takes their clothes off, but if you've got your hat backwards, that's a no-no.
Oh, no.
So you gotta worry about all of that.
No Tony Romo's on the course.
No. Who, by the way, did not qualify for the U.S. Open.
Shot 11 over.
Well, Tony needs to practice more.
I don't think that's going to get it done.
No, he needs to practice a little bit more. All right, big night here for us in San Antonio. Spurs looking to close out the Portland Trail Blazers. I think they'll get it done tonight. We heard Dr. Nauert. He guaranteed a win tonight. I think Pledge is on board with us as well. Are you?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so they'll get it done tonight. Ought to be interesting. Be sure and join James Pledger because he's going to pick it up from here on 94.1. Extra innings with Pledger coming up next. Then the fellows in the morning on the Morning Huddle, AJ and Rob. They will get you started with the first reaction from Game 5. And then, we'll be back. Hopefully Minix is well tomorrow. If not, I'll be here. For sure, hope you'll be here as well. Until then, have a great night, everybody.